YouTube stream up, and that is now good. Testing the audio levels. Hopefully everything is fine. There is no reason for it not to be fine. Yeah, things are looking good. My channel. Okay, let me share the appropriate links now to the appropriate social medias. Welcome, everybody. Chatting about Halo CA because I'm planning a video on it. Okay. And now a nice picture to go along with it. All right. Crap. Hang on, I just lost the tweet. Hey, Ginger Ale. Currently dealing with ads. I'm free. How goes things? Ginger Ale, things are going really well. How are you doing, buddy? Hopefully you're doing snazzy. Ginger Ale is one of the better sodas. I'm not a big soda drinker. We do not drink Pepsi in this house. Ginger Ale, though, we like ginger ale. Dr. Pepper is also good. All right, and now the Twitch link. I'm pretty good. That's good to hear, man. You're going to be getting the Combat Evolved remake, re-release, reversary, remastered. Sprite rocks. Oh my god, Sprite is so good. I'm seeing Project Hail Mary tomorrow with a friend. I want it really bad. What is Project Hail Mary? Isn't that a movie? I feel like I know that name. Yeah, Mickey Sprite. Yeah, McDonald's puts something in their Sprite to make it taste as good as it does. And I'm not sure what it is that they do, but, you know. You remember playing Combat Evolved Anniversary's Firefight a lot? Good memories. Oh, like the Reach map pack? Yeah, that was a good map. That was like a really good map. It's sort of amazing, I guess, that wasn't like there for the launch of Halo Reach, you know? And it's also kind of like amazing because that is like the iconic Halo, like out of any location from Halo 1 to turn into a firefight wave defense map, that specific cliffside is probably the most iconic location, or at least one of the most iconic locations in Halo 1, you know? So it was just like very good, very tasteful selection, you know? Pazuli. Hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in. The water is fine. You're more of a Dr. Pepper kind of guy, but my name is Ale. Oli, so I found ginger ale fitting. Okay. That's good. You know, my initial gamer tag for Xbox Live was it was Late Night Halo was a thing that I just like came up with. It was 2012, 2011 or something like that, and it was late at night, and I couldn't think of a name, and that's why I came up with Late Night. But initially it was comms, because I was thinking commentaries, like late night commentaries. But then it eventually became Late Night Gaming. But my original Xbox Live gamer tag was Holla 4, like the number 4, some dollars. And it's not what you think. And that's partially why I changed it, because you're thinking that. I know you are. the high school that, or no, the middle school that Rebecca and I went to when we were little, there was a math teacher that would name all of her math lessons like these silly little names. And one of the math lessons, the name that she gave it was "Holla for some dollars," and it was like, you know, some friend needs money, and so she hollers at her friend for, you know, like one of those. I thought the name was, you know, "Holla for some dollars." It stuck with me, and I made it my Xbox Live gamer tag. And around high school, I realized what it sounded like when I had to call Xbox support. And I was clearly young, and I gave the Xbox lady my gamer tag name, and she said, like, customer service said, "That's your name. Holla for some dollars." Really? And I was like, shit. I know that that's like unprofessional of customer support, but holy shit. Ah. Hi LNG, hi Poyo. Hello, everybody. Is this campaign evolved? Eggy. Always Mr. in the background? Shit was peak for little old me. I just want to get to the Halo 3 remake. I feel like the CE remake will be better than Anniversary. Halo 2 will be unable to be topped because it's beautiful, and Halo 3 will actually get one finally. Yeah. I think there are going to be things to appreciate, I guess, about both. I do think overall campaign evolved will probably be better regarded, but hang on, actually, let me make sure that all my settings are in order because I want to get the original experience. Okay. Original Halo is like 80 FOV, right? It's something like that. It's like 80. I mean, I know we can't get the original, but we can get pretty damn close. Details. Let's set everything to like normal. If we really wanted to go the extra mile, we could lock the game to 30 FPS, but we're not going to go that far. Because that would involve leaving the game, opening up the NVIDIA control panel, and all of that. Okay. Let me... No, it'll be fine. Okay. Thoughts on Bungie right now? I try not to have thoughts about Bungie right now. Because it's sad. Hey, Rocket Baby! You've been subscribed for 21 months, dude. Rocket Baby, you rock, dude. I love you, man. You're my rocket, baby. By the way, you called it with Destiny 2. What did I call with Destiny 2? I mean, of course I was correct, but what did I call? I hope the Halo 3 remake has firefight and armor customization. Dude, we're going to be lucky if the Halo 3 remake even has a theater mode. It probably won't. Like, Halo 3 was the game that introduced campaign theater mode, and the Halo 3 remake, it's not going to have campaign theater mode. Like, who are we kidding? Did you get to play Permafrost with Rejected Shotgun? I did not. I did not. Does he want to play it with me? Field of View was 70 for 4x3. We can play at 70. There we go. The game was losing its way, basically your whole video. Oh! Well, my did I call that Destiny was going to be shut down and that... Well, not shut down, you know, it's still playable. I don't know, I feel like you're giving too much credit to a video where I just complained. 2 minutes of ads should be banned. That was horrible. Is it really 2 straight minutes of ads? Maybe there's a way that I can control the ad breaks on my end. I'll have to dig into the Twitch stuff. Thank you for mentioning that, though.
Cortana, all I need to know is
did we lose them?
We both know the answer to that.
Captain Keyes has a new voice actor in the Halo CE remake. We all knew it was coming, but we didn't want to admit it. I'm just happy it's not AI. Oh, man. So, field of view, 120, 4K, 120 hertz for the original experience. The OG Xbox had 1 million gigafarts per megafuck. Yeah, the original Xbox was notoriously cracked in terms of what it was capable of. Oh, LNG, what's your thoughts on the new Keys? The new Keys model looks so good. He looks so good. It's not the original Captain Keyes, you know? But he looks very good. As like a kind of weird blend of the old one and the version from Halo Reach. I think they actually did an excellent job. Guys, I've been talking to a lead developer about... Where's the music? Is it just not playing for some reason? Okay, it's just MCC stuff. I've been talking to a lead developer about Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary from 2011, and there are some very interesting stories about this. Very interesting. I'm still chatting with him. Any questions you guys have, though, let me know, okay? If you want, you can DM them to me on Twitter, because the chat's going to be moving too fast. Leave them in the comment section of this stream, you know, whenever that goes up. I can't hear the game. Don't know if that's intentional. I can turn it up. There we go. Hopefully, I don't want it to be like too loud, but
when we meet the enemy, we will rip their skulls from their spines and toss them away, laughing.
Yeah, but if you guys have any questions for me to ask that developer, feel free to let me know.
Double time.
Attention all personnel. We are re-engaging the enemy. External and internal contact.
Is that Halo 3 menu background a mod? It's so the way that the MCC works is all the backgrounds are basically handled sort of like MP4s. Like it's a different type of movie file, but it's a movie file. So you could theoretically swap it out with whatever you want. You could make it like an episode of The Office if you wanted.
Bringing low-level systems online. Cracking the case in 30 seconds. He's hot. Blowing the pins in 5.
How is it now, Ginger Ale? Can you hear, buddy? Hey, is there a channel on TikTok using your clips? There better not be. There better not be. If there is, that channel better stop. Because that's not me.
I'm bringing your health monitors online, sir.
Unless you're offering, in which case I'd be very interested to talk to you about it.
Okay, sir, go ahead and climb out of the cryo tube.
Are you playing with CEA music? I'm playing with the remastered music. What are your thoughts on the new Pillar of Autumn interior in the remake? I felt like they adapted the look pretty well while just adding enough color. Yeah, we don't have enough to go off of yet, but I felt the same way. I felt like they nailed it better than, you know, this. It's tough because, like, all of these environments were not, you know, this is not how light behaves. You know, that's not how light reflects off of metal. So this room would look unrecognizable if it was lit up like how real life is lit up. So adapting the look of Halo 1 is incredibly difficult if you're doing like a photorealistic aesthetic, kind of like the remake is. But I thought they did a decent job.
Usually take care of your targeting sensors, but we're short of time, Chief. Just look at each of the flashing panels to target them.
Okay, good. You can hear it? All right.
Change color.
Not gonna lie, I find Combat Evolved Anniversary's autumn interiors kind of ugly. Something about the orange and light gray doesn't mesh well with me. It's not just you. I think most people agree that the Anniversary Pillar of Autumn is freaking ugly.
Okay, try looking up and down again, please. Do you want me to leave it like that? Okay, I'll leave the picture.
That being said, I've learned interesting things about colors.
I'm ready for the energy shield.
I've learned interesting things about colors regarding this game, and its development. I appreciate the level of detail in your videos. Thanks, says D. Parrish. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you for the $5. The channel is VibeQuest. Okay, there's somebody called VibeQuest on TikTok that is stealing clips of mine. All right, boys. All right. We're going to take him down. No, we're not going to do that. I'll probably have to, like, well, number one, I'd have to make a TikTok account. And then number two, message him and be like, hey, I'm the guy you're taking clips from. Also, the crewmen models are ugly, too. Yeah, they're not lookers. In the case of this guy, though, there's actually a very human reason that he kind of looks like a child, and it's because I think he was a child. Basically, it was a Make-A-Wish. It was a Make-A-Wish thing. Like a kid from Make-A-Wish basically asked if he could be in the remaster, and so they made him his face. They scanned it, and they made him the guy who wakes up Chief from cryosleep. And I think that person passed away a couple years later, sadly. So he is immortalized as the person who wakes up Chief from cryosleep, which is amazing.
This way.
LNG, did you try the Star Fox demo? I did not. Rebecca is knee deep in Pokapia. Like, guys, she's fucking on the Pokapia grind. So once she is out of the Pokapia grind, I will ask her if I can borrow her Switch 2. So that I can play the Star Fox demo. The guy reposted a lot of... Oh, he's just, like, chopping up my evolution videos? Okay. Okay, we gotta... All right, boys, let's take him down. What do we do about a situation like that? Pooping pills. Sped up audio on TikTok, and he speeds up my audio? He ruins it. He fucking ruined it. You're not you're... What an asshole. Okay, we're gonna take that guy to town, guys. Snipe that scumbag. Well, okay. I am going to ask him to take down the videos. Okay, we are not going to assassinate somebody over some internet content. All right, let's not get out of hand. All right. Does the faster shield regeneration break the game in Campaign Evolved as changing the mechanic and not changing the game can rip off the game? Says Andrew. I think I'm misreading that, but I get you, and thank you for the $5, Andrew. You know, I don't know if maybe this is good. You guys know how anal I can be, okay? Like how nitpicky I can be. I forgot about the health kits until after our time with the demo was over. So that, if that says anything about how combat and moment-to-moment gameplay and stuff to find and how that felt, like... So already off the bat, it doesn't feel like Halo 1, because it is Halo Reach under the hood. But I did not notice that the health kits were gone. It kind of flowed like Halo 2 and Halo 3. And remember going into it, I was like, oh, they're making the power-ups. You put them in your pocket now. I don't know about that, because that's change, and I'm autistic, and I don't like change. After playing with it, it actually works really well. I like it better than the pocketing like an overshield in multiplayer. It's cool when you find an overshield power-up, and it's like, it's just a goodie to find, And it doesn't last that long, so it does feel like it's a tactical thing that you can deploy. I was pleasantly surprised by how well it worked. He made the evolution into like 110 parts. What the Well, it's already like 110 minutes long, so. Alright, guys, what do we do with this situation? Do we mass report? Do I contact TikTok and ask them to take that down? What's the... Guys, I'm social media illiterate. In 2022, back when Threads started, I hopped on Threads, and immediately I remembered why social media, like back, when Threads was spinning up, and I remember why social media used to make me so angry, and I uninstalled Threads. I don't have social media on my phone, and I'm a much happier person. So TikTok I don't have either. What is that AI doing? Oh, the guy back here? He's figuring it out. So this is something interesting that I learned about the mocap for Combat Evolved Anniversary. The studio that was doing it, the Russian studio, they... Due to the fact that they're Russian, a lot of their, like... their cultural influence, like for them, basically, like theatrics, like stagecraft, playing for a crowd, like that is kind of like the height of like culture and entertainment and stuff, is like kind of theater acting. So when they were doing mocap work for Combat Evolved Anniversary, the Russians were like playing their heart out in their mocap suits. Like it was like unwatchable because of how overacted and theatrical everything was. So a lot of time was spent walking back, and trying to get them to kind of, cool things down a little bit. This isn't like a stage, we're not doing like Halo the theater play. Yeah. Even like the facial expressions and stuff. Apparently this cutscene here, there's a specific shot where they had to go in after the fact and keyframe a different animation set for keys because it was just like too much, like the overacting.
Continue evasive maneuvers until you initiate a landing sequence. Not that you'll listen, but I'd suggest letting my subroutines handle the final approach.
Excellent work.
Uh-oh. We've got a bot over on Twitch. Hang on, watch this. I'm about to like nuke him from orbit.
Yank me.
Best promotion. Yeah, I'll show you a promotion.
Good luck, Master Chief.
Your architecture isn't much different from the others.
How do I get rid of his thing?
Don't get any funny ideas.
He interrupted something interesting that I was about to say.
You'll have to find ammo as you go.
Get this guy out. I'm trying. I'm trying! I just see a block option. How do I, like... Oh, there it is. Okay.
Get moving, Master Chief. There's nothing you can do here.
Okay. He caused me to miss the scene. It's when he gives Master Chief Cortana's AI chip. The way it was described to me was the mocap actor had, like, the wildest face, like the... like, you know, like the eyebrow and everything. Like, it was too much. And so they had to go in and do, like, keyframe a more neutral or stoic animation for his face. And that's funny. But it's a remaster, not a remake, LNG. You are technically correct, but also it makes for a funnier title. Sawfish! Yes, exactly. Uppercase sawfish. Shoot the keys in the noggin? Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, are you guys talking about health kits? Health kits, I like health kits in Halo. I think health kits make the gameplay a little bit more interesting because it gives a little bit of tension to gameplay. Not a lot, just a little. It's like seasoning, you know? You may not have put a lot on it, but it's there and it does make a difference. Because you can literally limp away from a shootout. You know, with only a sliver of health. And it makes you explore the environment, see if you can find, you know, health pickups or anything like that. That moment of finally being like, you know, relief, like you found a health kit. It's something that doesn't exist if you don't have them. Yeah, here, I want to look at this, because he was telling me about this billboard now. And this is also something that's interesting. So, like, Halo is not big in Russia at all. Like, at all. They don't know about Halo. They don't know about any of that shit. And having to explain to people the Rex Easter egg, you know, a bunch of Russians, having to explain to them the significance of the Rex Easter egg and why it has to be included. And explaining, you know, like, little inside jokes in Halo. Like, just all of that stuff. It's... I don't know, it was very humanizing, my talk, and I'm gonna be talking to him more. I'm gonna do a video with him, actually, which is why I said if you guys got any questions you want me to ask. Because I've got questions, but, you know, sometimes my questions aren't the same as what you guys are asking for. So, a couple of questions I've got are, I am gonna ask him specifically about color temperature differences, like the second mission, 343 Guilty Spark, the library, that kind of stuff. Gonna ask him about the asset reuse. Gonna ask him about, you know, the animations and stuff like that. I don't think I know the Rex Easter egg. It's,
What the hell are you doing?
Security to the bridge. The Master Chief has gone rampant. Take him down, boys.
That was a mistake. Oh, God. Oh, God. Here they come. Hey, here, we're gonna go hide. Might as well kill Captain Keyes, too. Alright. If I'm going down, I'm taking down the ship with me. Thoughts about CEA's asset reuse versus Combat Evolved Remake's asset reuse? Combat Evolved Remake's asset reuse works a lot better because those Halo Infinite Banished are modeled off of the Halo Reach designs. So they fit the Halo Reach animations a lot more naturally. Like, you look at the Halo Infinite Grunt, it's more or less an HD remaster of the Reach Grunt. You know, minus a couple of, like, differences, like the texture of the skin, the toes, and everything. That ring looks so small, LOL. Yeah, oh, it's lovely. Are you kidding me? I love that you can just, like, you can see it. Like, this ain't fooling anyone. That ring is a couple of meters outside that window. You know? It's cute. Oh no, we lost pooping pills. That was the final straw. No, pooping pills is great. Spage? No, leave him alone. He's fine. He is the only person I will allow to just trash my channel. Like, he is he is professionally, he is my biggest hater as well as my biggest fan. He's allowed. It's true, though. Oh, you just got 3 minutes of it? Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to look into Twitch thing, because that's annoying. I think it also helps that they took into consideration certain materials like the pearlescent finish of the elites. Yeah, that finish helps a lot, make them seem a bit more covenanty. Do you think there's a possibility now we'll get a Halo Wars 3? No. No, I don't think so. Halo Wars 2 was not it. It did not... It was... I don't know if it was profitable, but I know that it did not make even close to enough money for a Halo Wars 3 to ever become a serious consideration. Like, Halo Wars 2 was a bet that did not pay off. Seeing those ads make you notice that those advertisers are now using AI to create them. That's lazy as shit, man. If you're gonna make an ad, make it a piece of art. Make it a good ad. The kind of ad that makes people not want to look away. Like my ads where I do silly voices. That's when I get sponsorships on my channel, I'm like, I know that you guys understand it's like, yes, get that bag, pay the bills, like, you know, but I'm also like, well, I don't want to phone it in, you know, I want to at least make it worth your while, so I try to put effort into the ads by being silly. You know, I was a theater kid growing up, and those ads, the sponsorships are like an excuse to bust out those old theater kid habits. Oh, thank you, Andrew, for another $5, dude. I think more sci-fi franchises should have panoramic cockpits from Gundam, as it makes more sense than having blind spots underneath, like the Pelican. I think, well, for the Pelican, I think it's just, like, trying to have that kind of, like, military gunship type feel. Like, it's like a very old-school sci-fi. Like, obviously, yeah, like, panoramic makes a little bit more sense. It's a little bit more practical, but they're totally, like, they're deliberately trying to go for that old school feel. I feel like with Halo, like the Halo universe, if you try to make it too advanced, the tech, then you, like, if the UNSC has laser guns as, like, a standard, then that's where it's like, okay, we're getting a little bit too far away, you know? And I think, I don't know, maybe panoramic could work for a new dropship type. Did Halo 5... Oh, wait, hang on. I'm a theater kid. I just got Seymour. I just did Seymour from Little Shop. You were Seymour? You were Seymour? Who was playing... Was it somebody else who was playing Audrey too? That's freaking awesome. Wait, so did your school or theater group, you know, wherever it was, like, did you guys do Little Shop of Horrors for a crowd? Because that's awesome. Little Shop of Horrors is such a good movie. Like, it's timeless. Even the Mantis is a little too far for me. I appreciate that the Mantis has, like, that Metal Gear look to it, and that it is, for the most part, a little bit on the clunky side. as well as it has the same like shade of green sort of as Master Chief's Mjolnir armor. So it feels almost like the UNSC is trying to build off of Mjolnir armor and expand it in an interesting, like, there's a little, but I do largely agree. I'm like, I feel like walkers are more of an Alien thing, because that's just so advanced, the idea of like a walking artillery thing. Bum 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 bum. All right.
They're using our lifeboat airlocks to attach their boarding craft. We go out and they come in. Clever bastards.
Yeah, it was so fun. Oh, that's cool, dude. That's cool. I'm happy that Little Shop of Horrors, there are people out there that are not allowing it to go into that sweet good night.
Go on ahead, Chief. We'll secure this airlock.
Yeah, the shields, it's really hard to tell the kind of damage that you're doing because of the shields. Yeah, I do agree there. Like, damage feedback is something that they weren't great at, which this developer that I'm talking to, he was in kind of like a producer role, and he was helping them, basically, like Saber Interactive make Halo. And something they really struggled with, he said, was like color and vibrancy and stuff, because as a Russian studio, their instinct was like misery and Eurojank and like desaturation and Chernobyl, you know, Metro 2033 type vibes. So he said what he thinks of is that scene in Terminator 2 when young John Connor was trying to teach the Terminator how to smile, you know, and it was just like it was like the most unnatural forced thing in the world. Like, color did not come naturally to them. And he does think that, like, Combat Evolved Anniversary has a very unnatural look to its color palette, because they were just throwing color everywhere because they were told to make it more colorful, and they didn't quite understand how to do it in a way that looked good. And then obviously by the time of Halo 2 Anniversary, they had a much better grasp on how to do it, because it was quite a learning experience making the Halo 1 remaster. I'm actually really happy you know what Little Shop is. Dude, okay, so when I was young, my grandpa, he had, like, he never got rid of his VHS, or his VCR. Even, like, when DVDs came around, he didn't like DVDs. He kept his VCR. Eventually DVDs won him over, but I would go downstairs and I would just look at his collection of VHS tapes, and one of them was Little Shop of Horrors, and it had a crazy cover to it. And I had no clue, like, what it was. Like, I didn't want to watch it, but the cover was so interesting. And eventually, like, some just, you know, boring Sunday or whatever, like, I think parents were on a trip somewhere, and I was basically home alone. I was like, all right, I'll watch it. And it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, it was amazing my first time watching that movie. I was just in awe at what I was watching. The plant was so cool, the puppetry was so cool, the songs were so good, the casting was perfect. It's, like, that is a perfect movie. I don't think there is a single thing you could change about it, a single line of dialogue you could cut. Last VHS tape I'd seen was Madagascar. Really? What do you think of the second movie? I didn't even know that there was a second movie of Little Shop of Horrors. If there is one, I don't think I'm gonna watch it. Because, like, if I am a big fan of Little Shop of Horrors and I didn't even know that they made a second one, it's probably because it wasn't very good, right? And I don't want to... Jerma described it as pissing in the cereal or something like that, and he was like, you can't watch like a bad sequel to something because then it's like that bad sequel pissed in the cereal of the first one. And like you'll watch the first one now and know where the story is going to go for the bad sequel. So he just avoids, if he likes something and he hears the sequel's bad, he just doesn't go and see it, you know?
Covenant, on the landing
Which
above
ending
us.
do you prefer? Oh, I prefer the ending of Little Shop of Horrors, where nobody learns their lesson, everyone dies, and then the plants just destroy the world. That's the ending I like, because it's the funniest. Do you have the no sprint on? Do you have the no sprint skull on? Yes, I have the no sprint skull on. I also have the skull enabled that gives the assault rifle 60 rounds. Yes, this is the Halo campaign remake that is releasing next month. I have it early because I flew across the country to offer. I sold an organ to get access to this early. How's the boss in chat? I've been doing really good. I've been doing great, actually. Ugliest remake ever? Yeah, this one isn't great. And there are interesting reasons for why it's not great. Very interesting reasons. That I am going to be making a video on. Hopefully before the remake comes out.
The life pods are launching. We should hurry.
Something about the Halo 3 pistol in CEA doesn't look right. Yeah, it doesn't fit the animations of the it doesn't fit the animations well, does it? Like here, this is I'll do this so that you guys can like really see it. Here, if we go like this, look at the magazine. Look, he's not even holding the magazine. It's because in the classic graphics, that's how long the magazine's supposed to be. And the animation just does not sync up. You know? It's an 8-round magazine in Halo 3. So that Halo 3 model, it doesn't line up well. Do you think Oni got into voodoo like the CIA? Oni? Like the Bungie game? Wait, did the CIA get into voodoo? This is the first time learning of this. Anniversary Chief, low-key chopped, not gonna lie. Yeah, Halo Anniversary Chief is not great. The assault rifle also, I don't like. That doesn't look right, you know? The assault rifle is a lot chunkier, it's a lot wider, it's a lot taller. And the Halo 3 assault rifle is a slimmed down version. I think the Halo 3 assault rifle looks great. It's one of my favorite designs for the assault rifle. But it doesn't really fit the animations of Combat Evolved, you know? You can see it. Chief's holding it almost like he's kind of like scared of it, or like it has like a sticky substance on it, and it's like ew, like it tastes kind of, it feels kind of like nasty to touch, you know? He's holding it in a weird way. That's good. And then you switch to the classic graphics, and oh, looks much better, doesn't it? Yeah. What is dogfish? Someone tell me. Are you talking about sawfish? The whole game looks like a fan-made mod. How long was Halo CE Anniversary in development for? It was in development for about 2 years. I remember, I think he said by the time Halo Reach had launched, like Halo Reach's launch, they had their first playable build of Truth and Reconciliation. I believe that was, you know, if that gives you anything to go off of. And it was, you know, mostly done by Saber Interactive. They were on the other side of the planet, so there was a time delay. You know, 343 Industries, basically, like, well, 343 Industries is awake, and everybody's clocked in, and they're doing their work. Saber Interactive, all their employees have gone to bed. You know, so it was like a lot of leaving a message and then checking back in the morning to see if the other side had responded. And eventually they had to just straight up send a guy to Russia to basically sit there with them to help. It's so interesting. Did you know the lighting for this game, for this remake, was one person? One person was responsible for the lighting of the entire remaster. Her name was Olga, and it was just her. And their lighting tools were being developed, and they were busted, and she thought they were going to be a lot more advanced than they were, and they weren't. And she had to do a lot of crunch on this remaster, and it was just her. She did good then, all things considered. Yeah, it's... There's a lot that I learned about this remaster that kind of... You know, it doesn't make it suddenly a good remaster. I don't think that's really the interesting thing. I think it's just... you know? It puts things in a different perspective, and it humanizes it and explains some things, you know? So now, like, there can be a bit of value for me in playing the remaster, because I'm remembering some of the stories that I talked about, or that I heard last night when talking to that guy. And I want to share those stories with you guys in a video, which I'm working on.
I'm detecting Covenant movement outside the access ways. Activating motion tracker. Let's find a safe exit. We're too close. We need to find another route. Motion tracker shows all clear. Wait, we need to get through that door, but it's been damaged.
Hey, we just got a subscriber. Subscribe to Tier 1, Iocon. Oh, wait, is that Eocon or is that like Iocon? Like, you know, Transformers. I asked this earlier, but I think it's a good question, so I'm asking again. I haven't done too good a job at keeping up with the Halo CE remake. I've been more preoccupied with Black Flag, but I'm really excited for CE. But what's your opinion on the Black Flag remake? I remember you saying the Black Flag was your favorite AC game. I'm looking forward to the Black Flag remake, but I have not kept up with it. So if there's drama that people are talking about, I don't know, you know, about the drama. I saw that there were some stupid pre-order skins, but thankfully it's, you know, a single-player game. I don't know. I thought it looked good. Like, is there drama? We're at 117 viewers. Are we? Hey, it's Lord Dead 82. How are you doing? We talked a while ago, back in the day, if you remember. Did we? Lord Dead 82. What did we talk about? I appreciate you, by the way, coming back here, man. Yeah, give me a refresher. The only real drama is they took away the hidden blade combat. Oh, like when you don't have any swords equipped and you can just use your hidden blade like basically as your sword. That's a weird thing to take away, but it's not gonna like ruin it, you know. That's more of like that's weird. Okay. Or do you mean they just like straight up took away the hidden blade like assassinations? It's cool how Saber went from making this to Space Marine 2. Yeah, Saber Interactive, they really, this was their first big gig that they got to work on. Like, they were a fairly small studio. And thankfully working on Halo allowed them to kind of, you know, move up a little bit. Okay, the assassinations are still in there. Did you see the 2008 troll face near Keys' Bridge? Yes. Yet? Yes, I did. There is a troll face. There is a troll face in this game. If that tells you of how old this remaster is, there is a internet troll face. Nice! Rebecca loves the troll face. Rebecca, she was on top of that shit, man. Like my soup is too soupy. You know, like that era of the internet. She was on top of that shit, man. Batty on the wall. The troll face. Alrighty. I missed it. Go back to the beginning of the level. Come on, poopy pills. Linda? Oh, yeah, there's Linda. Oh, you're talking about Linda. Yeah, there's a cool little Easter egg here. Because according to the Fall of Reach, Linda gets basically, like, critically injured, and she's put in a cryo on the Pillar of Autumn. And if you come into this room here, you can see that they got, look, Master Chief, he's online, like, he's active. And then there's Linda. See, she's still in cryo sleep. Now I'm trying to remember how they got her off the ring.
I don't know how much more
I forgot. Halo First Strike is a wild read. Like, so much happens in it, and it's such tonal whiplash. Because it's trying to be a sequel to The Fall of Reach, which feels like Ender's Game. You know, it's like very dark, very serious, very mature. And then you immediately go into, like, Halo 1, where the grunts are having, like, a happy birthday surprise, and, you know, like, Guilty Spark is the main villain, and it's just silly. And then you go back to the book, you know, First Strike, which yanks you right back into, like, dark, brooding, serious, but it has to contend with such a goofy character like Sergeant Johnson, and just the ridiculousness that happened in the Halo 1 story. They literally just found her cryopod floating in space. Yeah, that's about right. Oh, China! Bing chilling! Tom Shi! They ejected her cryopod off the Autumn before it crash landed on the ring. Okay, so it was just like floating around in space. Okay. Gosh. The extended lore of Halo is a lot of fun, but to love Halo, I feel like there needs to be a part of you that it's almost like the George Lucas era of Star Wars. Be very selective about what you care that much about. Because as far as this game is concerned, like, the Fall of Reach book isn't canon, you know? It doesn't make a lot of sense in the tone of this game. But it is canon, so it's like you just... It's alright. Don't take Halo canon so seriously. Don't take Halo lore so seriously. Enjoy each story on its own merits. And don't get too anal about if they tonally all fit together coherently. Rebs Gaming, what's going on? I hope Rebekuma still isn't using Duolingo. Oh, you're Rebs Gaming now? Yeah, Rebecca is now Rebs Gaming. We're gonna have to contact Rebs Gaming and tell them to change it. Like, first, we take down that TikTok guy that's stealing all my videos. Next, we're heading for Rebs Gaming. Hate to bring up a somber thought, but I reached out to you a while back. I reached out to you back in the day when Rebecca lost her mother, and I shared with the two of you that I found out I had cancer and went through it. I remember you. Dude, I remember you. Yeah. Yeah, you reached out on Twitter, didn't you? Yeah, I remember you. Dude, how are you doing? And by the way, thank you for reaching out back in the day. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, he's over on Twitch right now. Yeah, I asked him how he's doing. Yeah, Rebecca's asking how you're doing now. I really respect the people who have made the timeline using Reach and the Fall of Reach novel. Truly impossible. Yeah, that is... Because the Fall of Reach book and Halo Reach, the video game, like... You know, everyone gets very confused because they're like, well, how... Is it just like Chief was on this beach, but in the book he was on a different beach, and this battle happened on this date? It's like... According to Halo, the Fall of Reach, the planet fell. Like, they discovered that the Covenant were on Reach, and then the planet fell within a day. And the game, it, you know, took place over the course of many, many months. So, you know. Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary definitely wasn't the best remaster, but what are some of the things you like about it as you look back late night? Alexander, thank you so much for the donation, my friend, and that is an awesome question to ask because there are things that I do appreciate about it. I think some of those things are lost to time a little bit because folk remember it via its inclusion in the Master Chief Collection. But on the Xbox 360, this was a damn good purchase. For $60, you had the Halo 1 campaign. It had skulls retroactively added to it, skulls that were not in the original game, like Grunt Birthday Party. Well, there weren't skulls in the original Halo. There was the classic main menu. You could switch to the anniversary version of that classic main menu or the original. And yes, the original was based off the Gearbox Software PC port, but I'm willing to bet most people didn't, you know, care about that. So you had the original loading screens, the original main menu, if you didn't, and the original soundtrack. So if you didn't want to touch the remaster, you could play it sort of in the original format that Bungie designed. And there was that ability to, you know, switch back and forth between graphics during gameplay, which is cool. That is cool. Like, that's cool. Then, for your troubles, there was the Halo Reach portion of it, where you could play exclusive multiplayer playlists that were tuned a little bit like Halo 1 and played on Halo 1 remakes of maps. There was, of course, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Firefight, which let you play on the iconic cliffside with the beam tower. But in Halo Reach, like,
I recommend moving into those
it's hard to remember, and for some people they don't remember because they weren't even around. You know, they started playing it when it was on the MCC, but for 60 bones, Combat Evolved Anniversary was cool. It was really cool. By the way, I only came here to hear LNG emphatically enunciate the word flesh. I'm doing amazing. I appreciate you two asking. I'm one of the fortunate that has my cancer cured, and I've been in remission for years. That is fucking awesome, dude. I'm still so sorry to hear about y'all's loss. I appreciate it, man, and I hope someday cancer can be made extinct as a disease. I'm really happy to hear that you're still in, that everything's going well for you. Like, you're fortunate, man. That fucking rocks to have you here, you know? Yeah, I remember you. You were one of the kindest and most empathetic voices that reached out during that time. I really, really appreciate you, man. It meant a lot when you reached out to us back in the day. Halo CEA was $40. Was it $40? Oh, well, even better. Hang on. Oh my god. Hang on, let me go if I missed. Do you think the staged reloads could work in Halo? Like staged reloads, like you begin reloading, and if you switch or interrupt it, you continue from where the reload left off. I think that could work awesomely. I think that would be sick, actually. As long as you can keep reload canceling in. Like maybe the final stage, like slapping the bolt, if you can still reload cancel. Would you still love us if we were worms, LNG? Of course I would. Of course I would. Worm, human. It doesn't matter. I'd still love you the same. Oh my god. Rebecca. Oh my god. Like, I am so goddamn autistic sometimes, guys. Like, you know, the neurodivergency. Back when Rebecca and I were dating, in like 2021, was it? She, the would you still love me if I was a worm thing, you know, was everywhere. And she was asking me that. And and I'm just here like, okay, I'll answer that honestly. Like, would you be sentient? Would you be aware of what is going on? And she'd be like, so you wouldn't love me if I was a worm? And it stressed the hell out of me, that question, because I was taking it too damn seriously. No, but the answer is I would absolutely love her if she was a worm. I'd wear shirts that have pockets on the chest, and I'd let her ride in that chest pocket, and I'd take her everywhere. I would love my wife even if she was a worm. Yeah. Happy to catch you live. Yeah, I'm happy that you're here, man. Happy to hear that you're doing well. What do you think about the remake coming up? You looking forward to that? Yeah, neurodivergency. You also have a habit to neuroconverge on Half-Life 1 Scientist. That's true also. Like, all of my... I'm like, you guys want to hear my Harrison Ford impression? And then I'm just like, I'm with the science team. It always just goes back to, it's either like a Halo grunt or it's the Half-Life 1 scientist. Would you love me if I was the Dune worm? I feel like I'd have to love you or you would eat me if you were the Dune worm. I love Halo to death. Been playing back in the day. I've been playing since back in the day on the original Xbox. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. You're pessimistic and optimistic at the same time. Good. Good. That way if it doesn't meet your expectations, you knew it was coming, and if it surpasses them, then the optimistic part of you wins. Either way, you're right and correct. You want to know something I'm actually happy about? There was a comment recently-ish from the devs where they talked about the Combat Evolved remake, Campaign Evolved, and they were saying that they don't view it as them writing over what Bungie did and trying to supplant it or make it the definitive version of Halo 1. Oh, I think he was about to have a panic attack. Shih Tzu woke himself up because he almost reverse sneezed. They said that they don't view it as them replacing Bungie's work. They review it as sort of, like, I'm paraphrasing, as sort of like a companion piece to Halo 1. And I like that approach a lot. I like that they're not being like, this is the new Halo 1. That they're allowing it to be a new way to play the first Halo game. Oh, these graphics are an abomination. I actually think it looks good as an Xbox 360 game. I've said in the past that I feel like graphically this is probably the best looking. I'm not talking art. I'm not talking about art. Relax. Somebody's gonna freak out that I said that. I'm talking about, like, what is being done on a graphical level here. This is probably the best looking Halo on the 360. Art, though, is a completely different subject. Like, Bungie's engine didn't even have, like, shadow maps falling across the view model, right? Or they're not shadow maps, are they? Like this here, being able to see, like, the shadow from the tree on the assault rifle, that was not possible on the Halo engine. What happened with the Halo engine is when you entered a shaded area, it would just darken the whole view model. Why this over Reach and 4? Because it... Look at that! Look at that! Look at those sparks! Look at all the particle effects! Look how far into the distance detail is retained. The shadow, look at that! Like, these entities are casting their own shadows. And they're self-shading. Like, Bungie's Halo engine couldn't do this stuff. They had clever tricks to disguise the fact that they weren't doing it, but this Saber engine just did it. May we see the good boy? Oh, he is now laying peacefully and licking a blanket that apparently tastes very yummy. So I do not want to disturb, but next time he gets up and starts waddling and shuffling around, I will make sure that he gets the spotlight. A modder has an opportunity to do something really funny by remaking all of Halo CE's levels in Halo Reach. That would be hilarious if somebody did that. Like, in the next month, they just lived on caffeine, stayed up all night, and remade all of Halo 1's levels in the Halo Reach engine. Because then we'd have literally a Halo Reach mod and the Combat Evolved remake, which runs on the Reach engine. I had to play on the original graphics the whole time. Even if the graphics weren't as good, it captures the vibe a lot better. Oh, well, yeah, that's because it's the original game. This is Halo 1. This is just like an anniversary that doesn't really look like Halo 1, you know? At all. It doesn't look like Halo 1 at all. And it doesn't have the same atmosphere. Halo Wars' art style was peak. Halo Wars 1 looked awesome, dude. Question for the chat. Hey, thank you for the $5, man. Why do so many see CEA as a remake when it's actually a remaster? This is still the CE engine, albeit a PC port. Because I think there's still, like, people I think are starting to figure out, you know, a difference between remake and remaster. Oh boy. Because in some circles, a remaster is just straight up a port of the original thing. Like the Dead Rising remaster for Xbox One, where it is the 360 version of Dead Rising with nothing changed. They just bumped up the resolution, made it 60 FPS, and then put it on an Xbox One and PS4. Some people consider that a remaster. Well, some people think that a remaster would be redecorating the original game, basically. I have seen some things that call themselves remasters where they have added new gameplay mechanics and changed bits of the game. So, I think the term has always been a little bit vague, which is why I think you see some people say remake or remaster.
If those lifeboats make it down, the Covenant are going to be right on top of them.
Whoa, man, I'm freaking out. Did you just say this is the best looking Halo? Yeah, so somebody's probably reacting like that. Yeah, I'm gonna ask him about this level. Why? So, for those of you who are curious, I am working on a video about Combat Evolved Anniversary, its development and the people that made it. Like some of the behind-the-scenes stories of how it came together. I want it to be fairly comprehensive and, you know, kind of shed light on some of the creative choices, because I think it is going to surprise people. One of the things that really shocked me was how, by the seat of their pants, this remaster was done. Like, when it started development, from the day that it started development to a month before launch, everything was changing on an almost daily basis, and there were crises and artistic changes being done. Like, they were just constantly... They were pretty much... This Russian development studio was learning not just the Halo engine, they were building their own tech and also learning how to make a Halo after being incredibly used to, like, Eurojank type, you know, miserable post-apocalyptic Chernobyl stalker type games. Like, their instinct was like, oh, the Halo, this shooter game, it has guns, hero has AK-47, like, he's got hoodie. Like, that's kind of the, you know, that was their instinct creatively. Like, they had to kind of be taught colors, like how to make something look colorful, and... funny enough, he said the easiest thing for them to get a grasp on was the Covenant. And that's because the Covenant were so weird. Who is? He is! Devin's in here! Devin, where are you? Talk, say something! Oh, there he is. I'm late, but CEFOV was 70. CEA was 86. Dude, thank you so much. Okay, hang on. Devin, I'm telling them a little bit about what we talked about. Yeah, guys, this is the gentleman who is helping me with this video. So any questions that you got, I will be asking him later. But yeah, Devin's in here. It's Game Dev. Where is he? Yep. Game Dev Devin. He is the gentleman.
I've hacked tapped into the Covenant battle network.
Oh, this is awesome. He's in here too now.
Tactical data
Yeah, Dev,
uploaded
I'm
to
telling them a little
channels.
bit about
You should show them
some of the
to their
fun
database.
experiences of, like,
Master Chief, I'm going to use
taking
your
a studio
transpond
that,
system to monitor their chatter.
you know, maybe wasn't too familiar with, like, Western sci-fi and trying to teach them a little bit about you know, the learning process of how you make a world like Halo. And you were telling me that it was interesting because one of the easiest things for them to grasp was the Covenant, because it was so weird and unlike anything they had ever seen before, that it was like, okay, that make it look like that. They're purple space aliens? Devin 11. No, his name is not Devin 11. It's just... Is this doing... No, it's... I don't even think it's reaching there. That's awesome that Devin's in here. Thank you for telling me about the field of view, dude. Which Halo campaign is your favorite? Okay, so a long time ago, I would have told you that it was a toss-up between ODST. It was a toss-up between Halo 3 and Halo 1. And depending on how I'm feeling, that opinion might change. Today, though, I think I have decided that the Halo 1 campaign is my favorite of all time. With, depending on the day, what I had for breakfast, what mood I'm in, that can rotate out with ODST. So it could be either Halo 1 or ODST, depending on how I'm feeling. But it leans towards Halo 1. Where'd Devin go? Did he vanish? He vanished. As quickly as he appeared, Devin disappeared. Can you ask him about the Connect Codex? I absolutely can ask him about the Connect Codex, because that's an interesting bit of Halo 1 that is kind of the Halo 1 remaster that's lost. Honestly, loading up Rocket Marines and a Razorback and just driving around in Halo Infinite is the closest I've felt to this exact experience. Just the fun of it. Oh, hell yeah. No, that's... everybody likes to say that Marines are useless in fights. It's like the same people that think Halo 1 is a one-gun game where all you use is the Magnum, they're the same people that think that, like, Marines are useless in Halo. And no, Marines are some... like, especially on Legendary difficulty, the Marines can sometimes make or break your run on Legendary. All you gotta do is give them a sniper rifle, give them a fuel rod, give them rockets, and you're pretty much set. Like, rather than think of a Warthog as, like, well, I'm the driver, if you're playing solo. I'm the driver, there's a guy in the gunner seat right now. Just think of it, if you have a Marine in the gunner seat, your Warthog has an auto turret. Your Warthog has an auto turret. It automatically, this vehicle automatically kills things that are nearby it. Think of it like that. Like, see this Warthog? It has an automated sentry gun. And that completely changes the way you view it. Yeah, Dev's gone. We got ads? Do we have ads? Halo CE has the best missions, but Halo 2 story is just so good, I'd have to pick it myself. Yeah, Halo 2's story, I think, is... Halo 2's story is only matched by ODST's story. Which, you know, not coincidentally, those are the two Halo games that Joe Staten had the most creative control over the narrative for. But playing Halo 2 is like Halo 2's fun, but those Arbiter missions, I think of riding down that excruciatingly slow elevator with the flood. The gondola ride. Like, I think of, like, those moments where I'm like, come on, pick up the pace. I have browser level ad block. You can just watch the cutscenes on YouTube for Halo 2 LOL. Yeah, you could, but, like, see, there are a couple of nips and tucks that I think you can do to Halo 2 that would transform it and make it a shit ton of fun to play. Like, maybe not... No, kind of on par with Halo 1, even though, like, the level design is very different from Halo 1. Like, you don't really have giant open levels like this in Halo 2 because of, you know, kind of like the scale of it. But I think one of the immediate things that could make Halo 2 feel more satisfying to play is if you added back the recoil on enemies, like stunning them and stuff. Like, look at this.
There's some Marines
hang on.
hiding in the hills above the
Okay.
structure.
See that? That. Hang on. We gotta pop his shield to make him... Like that. The Halo 2 doesn't have that. I can't remember if it was that. I don't know if Halo 2 that was broken under the hood or if it was just for some reason not enabled. But Halo 2 disabled the ability to just kind of like, you know, they get hit by a bullet and they stumble a little bit. Covenant don't do that in Halo 2. And I feel like if you re-enabled that in Halo 2, it would make it feel a lot better. Daniel, Bob, what's going on? You know, giant open levels in Halo 2 was my nickname. Who is this guy? Who's Daniel Bob? You're giving pooping pills. Who are you? Is this pooping pills? This is pooping pills energy. Oh, he's changing browsers? Oh, okay. Rest in peace, that Marine you ran over. Did I run over a Marine right now? No. That's... Are you lying? You took a little while to respond to that, pooping pills. What is going on? You're pooping pills. This is him. No. Okay, alright, shut the fuck up. Okay. He has a sniper. Okay. I might get hate for this, but Doom 3 is starting to become S tier for me. No! People like Doom 3. Like what you like and don't apologize for it. Enough time has passed that people are more forgiving of Doom 3. And I think the best way to play Doom 3 is the original version, not the version released on Xbox 3. Not the BFG edition, and then the, like, Doom 3 that you can play on Xbox One. The original Doom 3, you could either have your flashlight out, or you had to put it away and take out a gun. So illumination was a choice that you had to make. And then they re-released Doom 3, and they had a shoulder-mounted flashlight. So you could just be firing your weapon, and you had a flashlight. And it sucked away some of the, like, horror. You know, just like that level of visibility. What about my Dead Space 3 stands? You got the same take for that? I haven't played Dead Space 3. In fact, you want to know something controversial? I think Dead Space 2 is just okay. I think it's fun, but I don't think it is even half as good as the first Dead Space game. That's my hot take. You want to hear another hot take? Mass Effect 2 has a really good story, really good characters. But I do not like playing it as much as Mass Effect 1. I think Mass Effect 1 is more interesting, more engaging, more fun as a video game. Like, when I replay the Mass Effect trilogy, Mass Effect 2 is the one I dread replaying the most. Because it just feels like a not fun Gears of War clone. In between good shit, which is the story. Like, Mass Effect 2 is like, oh man, the story, oh my god, I love these characters. Ah, shit, I gotta play the boring part, which is shooting at things. I have 2 contentious Halo ideas. Oh boy, here we go. Hey, Pooping Pills has just joined. The channel, he is a Delta producer level. I have 2 contentious Halo ideas. I would, 1, remove allied weapon exchanging. 2, make the player's guns have infinite ammo when in vehicle passenger seats. That is, Andrew, that is fucking crazy, man. You gotta explain why. Oh my god, Pooping Pills is gonna be added to the secret Discord. We're in trouble. Yeah, we've got to see. Hey, he's in here. I'm still 10 minutes behind because I wasn't watching live. Dude, jump ahead by 10 minutes. You're going to hear this in 10 minutes. You should jump ahead 10 minutes so that you could be here now. Please. Guys, game dev Devin is still in here. He is just 10 minutes behind everyone. Can you ask why Saber was chosen to make the remake unless you know the answer? Well, I think, didn't last year the president of Saber, he said, he had this crazy story, which maybe, like, Devin can elaborate if he remembers. They pitched it to Microsoft, like, we'll do the remake for free, like, zero. Like, our contract will be zero. You give us no money. And it can't be that, because that's, you know, irresponsible business. But that's at least what the president of Saber Interactive said last year in an interview. And then apparently something to do with the MCC. They worked on porting it, you know, the remaster to the MCC, and they changed their contract. Some clause in their contract also, I think, retroactively changed the agreement for the 360 Halo anniversary, and the studio ended up making a shit ton of money out of that. They sort of, I think they got royalties for both the 360 release and then the MCC release, like all at once. Something like that. It's something crazy like that. After hearing your Dead Space 2 take, I'm fighting the urge to form a mob and get you. Well, okay. Here's why I have that Dead Space take. When I was little, I thought Dead Space 2 was great. But as I've grown older, what I appreciate about Dead Space 1 is that it straight up is just Resident Evil 4 in outer space. Like, even the action-heavy moments of Dead Space 1 are, like, 60% action and 40% horror, you know? Where Dead Space 2 almost surgically detaches the horror from the action. So there are moments where Dead Space 2 is an action shooter, and you are shooting at monsters, and they are not scary. It's intense and action-filled. Then there are moments where it gets really scary. But the two elements are never consistently woven together. They've separated them, and so it feels almost like a haunted house. You're like, whoa, like you're going into the room where the Dracula is gonna get you, and you go and then it's like, okay, now here's the transitionary part where we go to the next room where something's gonna scare me. Like it makes the horror less organic, I guess, than the first game. Don't feel as special anymore. Oh, Monty, you're very special. Are you kidding me? You're the guy who put Master Chief into Smash Bros. Hey! Hey, look at that! Nickerman received a gifted membership. He also is now going to be joining the secret Discord. Are you hoping to see Blue Team come back in any future Halo games? If there is a compelling reason to include them. Otherwise, I would mostly prefer that they stay in the books. Because I think Blue Team, they work very well within the world that Eric Nyland told stories in. Like that version of, like, child soldiers growing up together, training together, becoming defenders of Earth. Where I think the games tell a very different story of the Chief and the Chief's heroics. And the player and the Chief working together to stop some crisis that's going on. And I feel like Blue Team doesn't add a lot to that. It's basically like glup shitto, you know? That's what Blue Team is in regards to the games. For point 1, weapon exchanging inherently devalues Marines as allies, reducing them to power weapon caddies whose infinite ammo you can abuse. If a Marine dies, you shunt their power weapon to the next guy. But what if a Marine dies in a precarious spot where you can't get to the thing that they dropped? See, I think I like the weapons. Maybe you could argue that like Halo Infinite probably does things a little bit interesting. Like maybe the Marines, you can also see what their ammo supply is like. You know, at the bottom of the screen next to the minimap, you can see their names and their ammo situation. And when they run dry, they pick up another gun that they find on the ground. But I like being able to give them weapons because it adds a little bit of strategy to the game. Like Halo Infinite, I think it's a little bit busted in that game because, you know, you can just spawn infinite power weapons and load them up into a Razorback. But I feel like I've grown up with LNG. Now we're fighting together to defend the Halo CE remake. Is that true? Man, that sounds weird for people to say that they grew up with me. It's honoring. I'm closing in on your location as we speak. Okay, well, Daniel Bob, let me, what can I say that's maybe more popular so that you don't, harm me? So that you don't cause harm to me. LNG, I don't think you should say that name like that. Well, I specifically enunciated it like that so that it could not be confused as a different kind of name. Alien Isolation is the one for me. Alien Isolation is good. Like, really, really good. Game Dev... Oh, Game Dev Devin is in here. Ah, the Connect Codex. I'll see if I can remember some of the anecdotes beyond how much we annoyed people trying to test it. I do remember that some very specific inflections of swear words that worked. Dude, the Codex was so... The Codex is interesting, and it's sad that it was basically, like, chained to, you know, the Kinect, and that it couldn't be brought over to the MCC version of Halo CEA. Go Knicks! Hell yeah. That sucks. They were one of the few good things in Halo 5. See, I don't think that they even added value to Halo 5. Like, if you were to remove Blue Team from Halo 5, I don't think the story would change that much. Because all they really served was to ask for clarification from Chief about something. That was basically, like, they're outside of that, like, you know, I haven't seen. I had Travis Willingham just sounding like Travis Willingham, like not even doing an interesting voice. He's like, I haven't seen Chief press himself like this since boot camp. He's fine, Fred. This many missions isn't fine. And then that's like it. Afterwards, there's nothing else that they add to the story. They're just there to be like, what's that?
Cover in that structure. Let's check it out.
Why are we here? Who's that? Maybe we should go to that structure. Which also is a problem that, like, Osiris has. Like, it's not exclusive to Blue Team. Like, you know. LNG has the perfect Blue Team opinion. Oh, I'm glad you think so. I like Blue Team. I think that their strengths are in the written format because there can be extended dialogue sequences and you're able to understand what they're thinking. So you can really get into the headspace of those characters. Where in the game format, the Master Chief is the player. Like, maybe this is just me, maybe, but I feel like the less that Master Chief is the active driver of the plot, and the plot is about the Chief, the more interesting the story is. Like, I think Halo stories are a lot of fun when it's Chief and the player going through something together, and it's mostly, like, the NPCs and characters around you and the Chief that are the main drivers of the plot. You know? Master Chief, I need you to keep Cortana safe. You know, keep your head down. There's two of us in here, remember? We need to go do this, Chief. We need to save Captain Keyes. You know, and then Sergeant Johnson and Arbiter, like... It's interesting when Chief is not, like, the main character of the story, and the story is about Chief. Dude, I love the Anniversary AR so much. It's my guilty pleasure. Same with the Halo 4 AR. This? That is the best modernization of the original firing sound. Like, that's good. That's really good, you know? Without weapon exchanging, allies spawn with power weapons and are exponentially more valuable and worth keeping alive. Well, placed power weapons won't be given to Marines straight away, the dominant strat. Yeah, but, like, the thing is, the livelihood of your Marine compatriots sometimes is outside of your control. Like, you could honestly try your hardest to keep them alive, but it won't really be up to you if the AI decides to rush into battle and get themselves killed, you know? And then you resort to, like, save scumming to keep them alive, like resetting checkpoints, you know? There is a bit of unpredictability. Like, I get what you're saying, and I think there's a solution that doesn't involve cutting out the ability to exchange weapons with them. Osiris would have lost more to Halo 5 story if they had been removed, but that's not much. Also, Fred's voice actor is Mustang for the Full Metal Alchemist fans. Yeah, Fred's voice actor, he also played Knuckles from Sonic the Hedgehog, if I may be autistic for a second. And in my opinion, he is one of the worst voice actors for Knuckles that the Sonic series has ever had. And the guy that they replaced him with is also bad. Like, Sonic Adventure 2's Knuckles, I still think is one of the best Knuckles voice actors, with the OVA Knuckles following. It's just like... Travis Willingham he either is great, or he's phoning it in because he's just being himself, talking stoically. And when he is being himself talking stoically, he, like, is unlistenable to me for some reason. Like, not to be mean, because he's insanely talented, but I can't stand him as Knuckles, and I really did not like him as Fred in Halo 5. I thought that the direction that he was given was beneath his talents as a voice actor. They were like, just sound like yourself, just no emotion. Sound like you couldn't be less interested in this role. You're doing great, Travis. We'll be done in 30 minutes. Just 2 more pages.
That's the last of them.
Okay.
Roger that.
I thought
I'm on my way.
I was gonna say, yeah, the timing is all off. Last night I was playing this on the 360. The musical timing isn't working correctly, and some of the like triggers aren't happening. Playing Crytek's Far Cry, I'm realizing it's just Halo CE. Is it? I haven't played the Crytek Far Cry 1, but I believe you. I've been offering a cookie to LNG in his corner cam, and I've tried holding X to exchange items, but he keeps not taking my cookie. Are you like holding up the cookie? I don't know why this guy is arguing the worser of 2 takes when infinite ammo in passenger seat is a better idea, barring power weapons. Okay, you know what? Barring power weapons, then... Okay, hang on. Okay, infinite ammo when you're in the passenger seat. I see it. I see it for small munitions, like your assault rifles and your battle rifles. I see that. Only concern I'd have is you could park your ass far away. Like, say there's like conflict up there, and the AI, there is a barrier that prevents them from getting any closer. You could theoretically get into the passenger seat with a battle rifle, and just like you're good, you know? You can clear out every encounter from a distance. Because one of those shots will hit. It'll be a little bit spread out, a little bit random, but you could cheese your way through every single encounter like that. That would be my only concern, I guess. I guess you could make the argument, why the fuck would you get into the passenger seat of the Warthog when you get into the gunner seat? Okay. You know what? Just for the sake of, I don't have time to think long and hard about it, I will agree with Andrew. I'll give him the win. I like infinite ammo in the vehicle because I go cray. Yeah, Rebecca, she's a great driver. She's also a great gunner with the Warthog. Kind of wish they got Fred's voice actor from Halo Legends instead. I can't remember how he sounded in Halo Legends. Hello? It says a bird with arms? A bird with arms. Hold your controller up to the camera so you can exchange it for my cookie. What's going on? What am I doing? Am I doing something? I'm accepting a cookie? Okay, watch this. Watch this. Oh, that's a cookie right here. Do it now. Put it right here, okay? The cookie is right here. That was a good cookie. That was, oh my gosh. Wow, that was a chocolate chip cookie. Chocolate chip cookie. That was good.
That should let us keep the element of surprise.
I agree with your Fred take, but I gotta make it weird. Worked on the Mass Effect 1 PC and 2 with Dead Space 2. What? You worked on the PC version of Mass Effect 1? Hey, Devin, what's up with Garrus's textures on the Mass Effect 1 PC port? Also, that's awesome that you worked on that. Yeah, I love Mass Effect 1, man. It's kind of like Dead Space 2. I like that combat and story are not surgically detached from each other in Mass Effect 1. It makes the world feel a little bit more organic and the story feel more organic. Where in Mass Effect 2, they basically had, here are the moments where you are shooting at people, and it plays like Gears of War. Now here are the guns down story portions. And I liked before when it was a little bit more like, kind of like a Bethesda RPG, where it just, at any moment you could just take out your weapons, you know? Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Devin, did you work on any DS games? Thank you for taking a bite out of my cookie. I banged my buckle into the screen, and now I have a dead pixel. I'm sorry for giving you a dead pixel. Fair point. 2, there is zero incentive to use vehicle passenger seats in campaign. In co-op, it's basically the cock chair, due to the inability to aim accurately from third person while in motion with no zoom. I agree there. I think Halo is long overdue for some touch-ups to the passenger seat experience. I think Halo 1 had the passenger seat be in first person, which, while immersive, is very difficult and potentially nauseating to experience, you know? Which is probably why Bungie yanked it into third person for Halo 2. But then the problem is you're so far away from the target that you're shooting at that it's hard sometimes to pick them out. I would love the ability to zoom in while you're in the passenger seat for all weapons. Like, just as a little, like, you know, camera, like, lowering the field of view a little bit by pressing the zoom button. Devin, did you work on Mario Hoops 3 on 3? That game was so good. Wasn't that for game... Wait, was that the Mario Hoops for Game Boy? The one with the menu music that goes like, oh, 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 oh. You know, if some... That just jogged the memory of somebody who's watching this.
Motion tracker shows movement around the next bend.
Oh my god, if Devin's watching, I can show him the busted decal that I wanted to tell him about earlier. It was DS? Okay. Maybe the Mario Hoops game I had was on DS. I can't remember. Billie Jean? You know, it was ripping off Billie Jean. The song does sound disturbingly like Billie Jean. Sounds like Billie Jean. Okay, we got 2 people. The Mantis should return, says Primark. I would not... I can go either way with the Mantis. Just, you know my opinion. I think cut walkers, sci-fi walkers, are more of a Covenant thing. But I could go either way. Now, see, the real question about what should come back is, should the Spartan Laser come back? Which, my opinion on the Spartan Laser is, I like that gun. I like when it charges up, and I like the big blast sound it makes, and the way it eviscerates vehicles, and then the vehicles turn into big fireballs. Not so much in Halo 5, because I don't like the sound design for it, and I don't like the visual effects for it, and the feel of the, you know, physics and stuff when you blow up the vehicle, but I think the Spartan Laser is a lot of fun. I don't think it has to be placed on multiplayer maps, but I like the Spartan Laser. I cannot feel my knees whenever I watch your videos. Explain. I'm not doing anything. I honestly do not know what you're talking about. And it is not my fault. Your concerns are reasonable. It's one I've considered as well. Tentatively, the inability to zoom and needing to be stationary would be inadequate drawbacks. It needs, if needs be, I'd test an accuracy penalty. Here's another thing that I've been thinking. Like, in the era now of, like, field of view sliders for Halo. Okay, let's do this as, like, you know. What the fuck am I shooting at? My crosshair and, like, the projectiles are... I literally cannot see what I'm shooting at. The camera is so far away. You know? I feel like in the era of... Like, if Halo is going to keep the zoom, you know, the Halo Infinite, like, aiming down the sights zoom thingy, if it is going to keep that mechanic... I would like to also see it applied to vehicles. That way, when you're playing at a high field of view, you can kind of, like, narrow yourself down to, like, 80 FOV. So you can, when you're in the gunner seat of something, you can actually see what you're shooting at as if you were playing at normal, you know, dev-intended field of view. Not Devin, the developer who is currently in the chat, but, you know, the developers. Not much portable or handheld at all, but I've designed some controls and things for mobile ports, like Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. Interesting. Well, Brother, Tale of Two Sons, that whole game is basically its control scheme. It's the thing that you're controlling two people at the same time. The Mass Effect 1 PC port had some issues, but the newer updates like squad commands and things were great. I don't remember what happened with Garrus, but I remember hating that we shipped it. Yeah, Garrus, his textures are all fucked up in the PC port. Like, it won't load in his high-res textures, so they're stuck at, like, the you know, it looks like his textures are still streaming in, like they're really smudgy and low-res. My knees. XD? There we go. Yeah, if any of you guys have questions for Devin, the man who worked on Combat Evolved Anniversary, he is here. He's here in the chat right now. Oh, God. There we go. We got him. Oh, no. The Covenant will see your ammo display.
Covenant forces sighted. Then hit him, Charlie team.
I did not work on any Mario, but I was legit playing Mario Strikers last week, and I don't even like sports. I've heard that Mario Strikers is a shit ton of fun. That, like, Mario Strikers might low-key be the best soccer, or, you know, if you would prefer football game. Isn't a remaster or anniversary in Halo's case just supposed to be a visual update? Well, I was saying, I feel like the definition of what a remaster is extremely, like, people can't really agree on a definition. Because I've heard the Dead Rising Xbox One port, which literally was just the 360 version, but at 1080p 60 FPS. I've heard that described as a remaster. But this is also a remaster, where it took the original game and kind of pasted over it.
Alert! Covenant dropships are inbound. Man, it's always something.
I never understood why Combat Evolved Anniversary got rid of the invisibility fading effect, and you just immediately went straight invisible. Well, Dev is here, and I'm sure he can explain why that's the case. But also, there's a shit ton of stuff that's busted in the Master Chief Collection version of Combat Evolved Anniversary. So, I can't even remember if it was like that on the 360. Okay, understandable. My logic behind infinite passenger ammo is that it operates on the same principles as vehicle gunner turrets, which also have infinite ammo by default. Okay. Okay, you're winning me over. Could we at least have like could we say that you do not get infinite ammo if you got like a rocket launcher or like a sniper rifle? Could we at least place a limit on that?
To Echo 419, requesting reinforcements at our
Or like a fuel rod gun, you know, but everything else is like have at it, Haas. Because we could make the argument that you are sitting in the Warthog and basically like reaching under the seat for like spare ammo. And that's why you have infinite of it. I think Dead Rising's case should be called a port. But see, it's not called a port. Capcom calls it, I think, a remaster. And then what's a re-release versus a port? And then would it still be a re-release if it was the original game, but they added quality of life features? Like if there was a game that's old and it was slow, and so for the re-release, they added a sprint button, but they didn't change anything else. Would that still be a re-release? I decided on doing Ruby's Rebalanced instead of Campaign Revolved. Ruby's Rebalanced is great. I think there was a gearbox bug that was affecting the classic mode VFX. I think maybe at some point we fixed that, but we didn't have the hooks to trigger the transition. Well, it works in the classic graphics. Like in the classic graphics, it'll still fade. But in the anniversary, you immediately turn it, you pop invisible immediately when you pick it up. Oh, here's the turtle hunters. They never raise their head, and their quills are stationary. They are stuck. They do not emote like they do in the original. As well as they don't communicate to you when they're about to charge their cannons. Like you can hear the sound effect, but you don't see the light, you know?
We've secured the area. Let's square away the grav lift. Marines, prepare for boarding action. Yes, sir!
What was it like using the
Once we're
gearbox,
inside the ship, I can
gearbox's
hone in on
port as a
Captain's
base?
command neural
Was the
interface.
code as
They'll probably be
smelly
in or near
as
the
everyone
ship's
said
rig,
it
which should
is?
narrow our search.
I'm sure he's probably got some interesting thoughts about that. Oh, here we go. Here's the new gravity lift cutscene with rather than ambient wonder, it's the remastered ambient wonder, which sounds very different, but I also think it's very cool sounding. See, it's still got a little bit of that magical energy to it. Halo Anniversary is over-textured. Sometimes less is more. I mean, you know, like we can talk about the art as well, but I think it's honestly a little bit more complicated than that, because I feel like it's the materials. Like I feel like the look of this world wouldn't, like, I agree with you, by the way. It does have that kind of like bit crushed, super compressed, like very noisy look to it. But I feel like if you had PBR materials, you know, and proper like screen space reflections and stuff, a lot of that like that busyness wouldn't be as like bad. It's just because it's still got that like old school rendering style, so it's just you see texturing everywhere. It's like the world's most elaborate drawing on screen, and everything is drawing, and there's a ton of drawn details everywhere. But you can tell that none of it is like real. It doesn't have actual depth and doesn't behave like these materials realistically would, so it just makes them stand out as drawings even more. It really stood out to me when we started taking inventory of all the things that were off. Mind you, we didn't have, like, final shipped source, just whatever someone archived from years earlier. Oh, so what... It really stood out to you as you guys were like, okay, this does not line up with the original Xbox version. This doesn't. And it kind of, the realization of, like, oh, this is not like the Xbox version. There's a lot of stuff that's busted or missing. Yeah, I made a video a while ago poo-pooing on Combat Evolved Anniversary, the classic mode, which thankfully, you know, seemed to get some interest in, like... There were a ton of things I got wrong in that video, but it did at least lead to things getting fixed on MCC, which you also worked on. You worked on the MCC for PC, but... Yeah, somebody reached out afterwards and basically said it wasn't that they were like, we don't know any better and we're just going to use the Gearbox PC port, and it was more like Halo CE was so old that that original shipped version wasn't the version they began development with. Like, the version that they had was a couple of months prior to the launch of the game, right? For the original Halo CE. Like, it was basically an unfinished version of the original game. Something like that. I can't remember. This was 7 years ago now, I think, that I made that video. You said that Halo 1 is your favorite campaign. Does that include story? If not, what is your favorite Halo story? It does not include story. My favorite story is either Halo 2 or ODST. With Halo... It's like, depending on the day, it's either Halo 2 or ODST. With Halo 1 being in second place. Because I think Halo 1's story kicks ass. I think it's so much fun. But the problem with Halo 1's story is, if you were to sit down and be like, we're going to watch the Halo 1 cutscenes. Like, Halo 1's story is fun to play through, you know? It's fun to play through. It's the ultimate video game story. Where Halo 2 is a story that is actually very fun to watch.
Wait, that's the locked door down there. The Marines are waiting on the other side. The controls to open it must be somewhere in this room.
Do you think Halo 5 should come to MCC? I don't think it's about if I think it should. I don't think it's possible to bring it to PC. Like, there are memory limits and constraints on what can be added to, like, from what I remember, like, even porting Reach to the MCC was, like, really fucking pushing it. Dev could probably elaborate on that more. It's fucking awesome that you're in here, man. Halo 3 and Halo Reach's engine without the visuals are ostensibly the same thing. Interesting. Like, I think when folk are talking about the engine, I think what they're remembering is the feeling of the physics, which is all, like, gameplay tweaking and value tweaking. Like, could you theoretically do everything from Reach in Halo 3 with minimal jank? Like, you know how people have, like, you know, brought armor abilities to Halo CE via mods, and it's so obviously janky and stuff. Are you saying it wouldn't be the case if you were to try to, like, put Reach into Halo 3? Do you think the CE in new Halo, or do you think the Covenant in new Halo CE should or shouldn't use English? Oh, that's a good question. I think they need to sound as distant from the player as possible. You can still have the elites talk English, the grunts talk English already, but it's very disconnected. Like, narratively, you could listen to the Covenant chattering, and you're not going to get anything out of it. You know? And that's, I think, the approach that you should take. So, like, the elites, it should be mostly stuff like, I see it. Humans here. Flare. I've been slain! You know, it should just be like dialogue like that, mostly. Because it's not until Halo 2 when, like, the story of the Covenant is important, and their dialogue suddenly is a lot more important. Yep, it's basically just logic and behaviors. Interesting. Well, what about graphics? Surely there are graphical differences in the engines, right? I'd probably still allow power weapons to have infinite ammo for consistency's sake. If worst case, it still allows for cheese despite nerfs, then I'd avoid placing such weapons in those sections. But Andrew, then you'd have the issue of, like, during a vehicle sequence, you would give the player access to anti-vehicle weapons. Right? Because if they lose their vehicle... I walked backwards. We're good. You get me? I heard that in Destiny there was a lot of friction of trying to get a firing range to the game, so I guess some things stay consistent in the industry. Yeah. Yeah, it's not so easy just straight up adding things to games. What do you think would be a cool death animation for the Hunter? The worms disassembling and running off, leaving the armor pieces behind. I have had that exact thought, and I'm glad it's not me. You know how freaking cool it would be if you're, like, shooting the back of the Hunter, and it just melts. Like, it just... You know, and then, like, the worms kind of, like, crawl away and, like, dig into the ground and disappear. Like, some of the worms writhe around and die right there. Like, and it's just, like, the chunks of armor. Like, that would be cool if... When the Hunter is dead, it just freaking melts like a snowman. Like, the Hunter, the worm colony collapses. That would be cool. That would be so goddamn cool. I believe weapons should have different balancing for campaign and multiplayer. See, I think it's more fun when there is consistency across the sandbox, just straight up across the sandbox. Like, you can hop into any mode, and you know how the weapons are going to feel. You know how the player movement is going to feel. Like, I think, you know... Like, Halo does break that rule, but it's usually in extremely specific situations. For the most part, I think that's what made the Bungie Halo games. It was really satisfying in Halo Reach to jump from campaign to multiplayer to firefight to forge or whatever, is that the gameplay was consistent across the board. The weapons felt the way they felt.
Cortana to Echo 419, requesting reinforcements at our position. Warhammer here, Cortana. I read you.
Monty, we're gonna chat about Halo Online a bit. When he and I do our talk. Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about Halo Online because Dev here also helped with Halo Online, so he's got a lot of guys. Oh my God, Halo's fun. Like the Halo Anniversary versions, the Master Chief Collection. Believe it or not, some of the woes people feel were not due to, like, comical amounts of evil and greed. Game development can be very difficult, especially game development under Microsoft can be incredibly difficult, and there are very human stories behind choices made and sometimes mistakes made. And those stories are very interesting. And that's kind of what he and I are going to talk about in our video. We're going to talk about, like, the developers' experiences making these remasters. So even if, like, Halo Anniversary, what we're playing, you know, Doesn't really feel like Halo 1. You know, aesthetically, visually. The experience of the developers making this remaster is really interesting and humanizing, and I think their story is interesting. Keys. I overheard the guards talking about this ring world. The elites. Colony collapse. Yeah, exactly. That would be freaking awesome. Should the worms be hostile, though? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't, like, taking down the hunter, I think that should be enough. The hostility was the hunter itself, and then you kill him, you know? You know what you could potentially do? 1 or 2 worms. And it would be like the tiniest sliver of your shield. Like, so inconsequential that they might as well have done no damage. But you do get that physicality of, like, the worm, like, you know, and jumping at you and just popping against your shield.
Wait a moment. I'm going to access the Covenant BattleNet and locate an override code to open a door.
Wait, you mean all the Redditors who said because corporate agreed and because people are stupid are wrong? Yes, believe it or not. Believe it or not, the video game industry is not super profitable. And game developers do not make video games because they buy yachts. They make video games because they really like video games and they're nerds. And they know that they are not working in the highest paying field that the, you know, a capitalist society offers. But they love video games, so they're doing it anyways. Yes, believe it or not. I always thought game development was just adjusting a greed and fun slider. Oh yeah. That's also with when you see like bug fixing, you know, and there's like a knob. You know, sometimes developers, they forget to turn on bugs fixed. You know, and they ship the game, and it's like, rats, we forgot to, you know, flip that switch on. I've always wanted the worms to be hostile, like in Halo Nightfall. Oh, like Halo Nightfall, huh? That was something, wasn't it?
I'm after him.
Remember Halo Nightfall?
Let me get that for you.
That certainly was, man, so like one of my special interests is the production of things. Nightfall is so interesting to me. Not because like Halo Nightfall is good, it's not very good. But from a production standpoint, I'm so fascinated about it. Because you can see that like they had a slightly bigger budget than Forward Unto Dawn, but not enough to maybe do what they were hoping to do. And there's a lot of stuff that indicates that communication was, you know, maybe not where it needed to be on the set. Like the creation of the Yon Het, which now unfortunately the Halo franchise is stuck with. Remember the Halo channel? Man, I do remember the Halo channel. There was never a day where the Halo channel worked. From the day that they launched the Halo channel, it was crashing, it was laggy, it was buggy, it wouldn't load. And they never fixed it, and then they sunset it. But man, if the Halo channel worked, it would have been the coolest thing. Is it weird that I miss that era of Halo sometimes? No, I don't think so. I also, the Reclaimer saga was a very interesting time for the Halo franchise. And it was also, like, exciting because Halo was moving very fast. And I feel like after Halo 5, it all stopped. All forward momentum stopped. Like, the Reclaimer saga ground to a screeching halt, and Halo slowed way down. Those fun and... Oh my god, he said something funny. Okay. Those fun and greed sliders are in a really tricky spot, and we hit them accidentally when we try to sit in our chairs. Oh, is that the case? Like, when a game comes out and it's got a ton of microtransactions. It's because somebody... Some developer, some asshole, some greedy, stupid, incompetent developer... They sat on the knob, and it went too far onto the greed side. That's how it happens. Ah, now we know. LNG, how do you feel about the DCU and how it's been shaping under James Gunn? And how do you feel about the animated Nightfall Batman movie and the Absolute Batman animated series? You're not going to like what I'm going to say. Whoever that was earlier that was like, I'm coming for you, I'm coming to your house because of what you said about Mass Effect and Dead Space, you're not going to like what I'm going to say. I really don't care about DC. I don't like DC Comics. I think a majority of their superheroes are lame. And I have not seen Superman, even though I am sort of interested in Superman. And Supergirl, I have negative interest in seeing. And I'm not surprised that it's flopping. And I don't have any hope in the DCU. I don't think anyone cares. I don't think anyone cares. Like, Marvel used to make a movie about anything and people would go see it. And now Marvel has to, like, drag Robert Downey Jr. back because they're struggling to get people into theaters. Like, just people aren't interested in superhero movies anymore. Like, this DCU, I don't care, and I don't think people care. Batman is fine. But even Batman, I'm like, I'll go see the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. I will not be seeing an animated Batman movie, though. I don't care about Batman that much. It would all have to be tested, but you make compelling points regardless. In my opinion, the areas you've used... Wait. In my opinion, the areas that you'd abuse infinite power weapon ammo wouldn't extend beyond where you'd also abuse infinite weapon ammo. Yeah, that's fair. Like, the fact that you'd have, like, an infinite ammo chain gun kind of, you know. Yawnhead are fine filler aliens. Fun fact, Halo Legacies is adding them as a rare scavenger enemy, working... Oh my god, working the equivalent of CE's UNSC crewmen. That's so dumb. The Yawnhead are dumb. They're dumb. They're stupid. They were in Halo Nightfall because of an oversight, and the production crew got a little bit too far before anyone could stop them. Like, I think I've shared the story before, but the way I understand it, the Yawnhead were basically like, at that point, like, the production crew were like, yeah, you know, CGI aliens are expensive. We're going to have a CGI... Rather than CGI alien, we're going to put a rubber mask on this guy. And he's going to be alien. And he's, you know, he's going to talk funny. And he doesn't have a nose. That's how you know he's an alien. And we're going to give him funny gloves so that he doesn't look like he has human hands. And he'll just have a tracksuit on so you can't see the rest of his body. And... it was either Frank O'Connor or somebody who works under Frank O'Connor saw the Yawnhead on the set, and it was like panic. It was like, what the fuck is that? What is that? And there was kind of like a crisis of like, what the... was anyone paying attention? And they were like, they were thinking, we could say it's a young prophet. What do we do? And they were just like, shit, it's a new alien. It's the Yawnhead. They are aliens, but look like humans in rubber masks. The Yawnhead are stupid. I hate them. I hate them a lot. I wish they'd go away. back when The Flood was written, these were kind of in an era when novelizations were more like vamped and heightened merchandise. Nyland just knocked it out of the park and shifted everything. Yeah, like for like video game novels, we had like the Doom novelization, you know, and like the Metal Gear Solid novelization, like stuff like video game novels. Enough time has passed, and there's enough great video game novels that I feel like people don't truly understand just how powerful The Fall of Reach was. It was like, oh, not, you know, obviously like video game stories were good long before Halo 1 came out. But video game novels, oh, those can be good. Like, you could read The Fall of Reach even if you've never played Halo before, and it's just like a really good sci-fi novel. I've never watched Halo Nightfall. What the fuck? Yeah, there is a scene where Mike Coulter, who he also sucks in Halo Nightfall. Mike Coulter, I think you could, like, Nightfall is hard to watch because I get mad at Mike Coulter because he clearly does not give two shits about what he's doing. He's cashing in. He doesn't care about Halo. He doesn't know what Halo is. He's cashing in because he just got that Marvel gig to play Luke Cage. But he was already signed on to do this. So he is phoning it in so he can get his money and bounce over to Marvel. And it makes me mad that he visibly does not care about what he's doing in Halo Nightfall. And he's just daydreaming about Marvel. But yeah, in Halo Nightfall, I was about to call him Luke Cage. Mike Coulter, his character is, there's like an elite attack on a human population center, and they find the alien that sold the elite the weapon that was deployed on the humans. And the alien is a guy in a tracksuit with a rubber mask and rubber glove, like monster hands. And they're like, he's an alien. Does anyone speak his language? And then Mike Coulter is like, Yon het de super, like speaking fake bullshit alien. Like, this is not a real language, it's fake. And oh my god, that scene is so bad. It's so bad. You don't understand. I'm describing it, but you have to see it.
Coming here was reckless. You two know better than this.
That's probably why they changed his voice in Halo 5. Yeah, the reason they changed his voice in Halo 5 is because by that point he had bounced. And he was on to greener pastures, getting that, you know, like for Mike Coulter, like, you know, get the bag, dude. Marvel probably paid him a shit ton of money. Like, don't worry, get that bag. But there's the part of me that is like, come on, man, like, fucking care. Like, he just, oh my god, he was phoning it in. He didn't care.
The ring has some kind of deep religious significance. If I'm analyzing this correctly, they believe that Halo is some kind of weapon.
They kept his face, though. Yeah, they did keep his face, and from what I understand, also part of the reason that they broke up Fireteam Osiris and why Locke hasn't really been a thing in Halo. Obviously, like, the fans, you know, like, folk have their thoughts about Agent Locke, but also some of it is because Mike Coulter. In fact, actually, Devin, this would be an interesting conversation for you, man. In Halo 2, Lord Hood is obviously supposed to be Ron Perlman. Like, it is supposed to be Ron Perlman's face as Lord Hood in the original graphics of Halo 2. And then for Halo 2 Anniversary, he doesn't look anything like Ron Perlman, even if they're using, like, his performance. Okay. Was that the cutscene, Devin? Well, it'll be in the video, maybe. But was that the cutscene we were talking about?
We should head back to the shuttle bay and call for evac.
Oh, he's talking about Yeah, guys, Devin, if you're just joining Game Dev Devin, this man has seen it all. Combat Evolved Anniversary, the Master Chief Collection, Halo 5, the beginnings of MCC being ported to PC. He was there for it. He worked on it. So if you got questions for him, shoot. We all know what my opinions on Locke's fate are. Glass half empty. Well, here's the thing, Isaiah. Haruspis, Alex Wakeford, is one of the story leads over at Halo Studios. One of the he basically helps guide the narrative direction of the franchise. Alongside Jeff Easterling. They are very good friends. Jeff Easterling's opinion on bad or poorly received characters is it was a bad execution, and that character is one good execution away from becoming a fan favorite. Alex Wakeford is in the same boat, and in fact, Alex Wakeford quite likes Locke and thinks there's potential to his character. So, you're not... The reason that Locke is not confirmed dead and is confirmed missing is because Locke is not dead, and there will be future stories for him. Yeah, that's the Sassy Hips ADHD cutscene that caused us to cut mocap. Okay. The way Devin was explaining it to me, I told him a little bit about the you know, just like you know, Russian performances and cinema, you know, like they're all theater kids over there. They like playing for a seated crowd. So their mocap work was insanely overacted. Because, you know, they were just like, put on the mocap suit, like, I'm standing with gun. And apparently Master Chief was just the guy doing, like, oh my god, yeah. Just insanely overacted. Like, Chief is hanging out, he is sticking his hip out, he's being sassy. You know, he's ready to kick some alien butt. Captain Keyes is fiddling and playing with the needler, and it's just super, super overacting. And that's fun. Because I'm Ukrainian, but I went to a Russian Orthodox church growing up, and I was surrounded by a lot of Ukrainians as well as Russians growing up, and I've seen, like, you know, it's not like, you know, Russian or Ukrainian theater, but definitely for like celebrations and stuff. Yeah, like it is very silly and over the top and kind of, you know, making an ass out of yourself.
We're screwed, man! Stow the belly-aching, soldier. Remember, you're a leatherneck. Cortana, if you and the chief can get us into one of those...
Dude, can I just come in with some accountability? The first stream of yours I ever watched, I asked if your name was from something in Halo lore, much like Haruspis. Good fucking times, lol. Is that true? Yeah, no, my name is not... Taras is not a Halo lore name. It's like Ukrainian Bob. How difficult was it to... That's interesting. How difficult was it to wrangle so many separate Blam engine branches into playing nice with the Unreal? Oh, well, I don't think, Devin... What's kind of exciting about Combat or Campaign Evolved, Devin, is this is your first time now since Combat Evolved Anniversary, where now you're just back to being a Halo fan. Like, you're going to play Combat Evolved or Campaign Evolved for the first time along with all of us. W Church, hi, Ukrainian Bob. I see people complaining about how Keyes looks in Campaign Evolved, and I just don't get it. I think he looks good in Campaign Evolved. I think he looks like a cross between the Reach version of Keyes as well as the original version. But they're not... I said earlier that they're going for photorealism with Combat Evolved, or Campaign Evolved. Oh my god, the remake. That's not quite true, because somebody did mention that the humans look weird. And it is true. That person was correct. Like, they don't look like people, and I think it's a stylistic choice. There's something about the art direction.
We need to hold here until she can move in.
Oh man, we're trapped in here. We're screwed. We're screwed.
LNG, would you say 343's jackals are a convergent species? I know they aren't truly a subspecies, but convergent? Maybe? Because if you guys know anything about biology, the subspecies thing to explain different designs for Covenant creatures doesn't make sense. Like, even people describing it like different ethnicities, it's like, that's kind of fucked up. You know, people of different ethnicities don't look like, we all look like people. And even the different dog breeds thing doesn't really work, because, you know, there are different breeds of dogs, but they're all canines. And if you take a Shih Tzu skeleton and a wolf skeleton, it is the same animal, just the proportions are different. Exact same skeleton, just proportions are different. You know, same exact skeleton. But with something like the design of a jackal in Halo 4 versus the jackal of the design of a jackal in Halo Reach, there are so many differences that you couldn't responsibly classify them as the same species. Like, if you want to know how anal people get about this, crocodiles and alligators basically look like the same thing, but there are enough differences that they are technically different species. So no, like, the subspecies argument does not fly in the real world of, like, biology. But it would be super cool if they could classify the Halo 4 jackal as a different species, maybe a sister species of some kind.
Get on board.
Give me a minute to interface with the ship's controls.
No need. I'll take this bird out myself.
They're leaning more into a cinematic CGI style rather than flat realism. Yeah, sort of. But it's weird because then there are moments where it does look like photorealistic. It's almost like whenever there isn't a person on screen, you know? I wish CE jackals came back as separate jackal species. Dude, I agree. I freaking oh my god, we're here. Silent cartographer Devin, I can show you. I can show you it. It broke in the flighting for Combat Evolved Anniversary, the anniversary graphics, and it was never fixed.
Covenant believe that what they call the silent cartographer is somewhere under this island. The cartographer is a map room that will lead us to Halo's control center. The island has multiple structures and installations. One of them contains the map room.
Getting all the art up and running for the new UE menu was what took the longest. Honestly, well, I don't envy the engineers who had to rehook everything. That was something we talked about like 6 months before MCC dropped, but it came online with very little jank. Was it ever, so Devin, was it ever considered for the main menu for MCC, like whether it was the original or the porting process to PC, letting the community pick and choose the songs, like rather than doing the dynamic thing, letting people almost make their own mixtape in the main menu, so when they boot up MCC, they'll be greeted by their personal selection of songs from the Halo soundtrack. I like the infinite models. I think it was smart that they reused them in the Halo CE remake. Here, Eric. Here's where I'm gonna tell you my thoughts, buddy, pal, boy. See, the Halo Infinite models are great. They're really good, but those are the designs of the Banished from Halo Infinite, and they were designed for that specific project and its aesthetic goals. And even the Banished in Halo Infinite, the armors of things like the Elites, the Grunts, they were based off of Halo Reach's artwork and its concept art and stuff. They don't look like Halo 1. They're good looking, okay? They're good looking. The Banished Elite is so goddamn cool. The Elite design in Halo Infinite is sick. It's sick as hell. But it does not, it's not the Halo 1 Elite. The Halo 1 Elite has a very specific aesthetic to it.
Okay, let's
And
move out.
that aesthetic
Let's
was
go find the map
informed
window that
by
shows the location of Halo's
the
control center.
influences of the creative team for Halo 1. The things that they were interested in. Like, Shikai Wang comes in and he draws, like, these very, like, exaggerated anime-like creatures with exaggerated proportions that are very lizard-like. But then you also have, you know, folk like Marcus Lato who are leaning more into, like, a Predator and, like, you know, wanting to get more of, like, that 80s, like, sci-fi influences into there. And so you end up with this creature that's really cool looking, and it does feel very specific to Halo 1, and I don't think the Halo Infinite Banished Elite is that. It's not even about the angularness of it. Like, it's not about the poly count. Don't worry about the polygon count. I think you can translate the look of the Halo 1 Elite into 4K. And even add extra detail that aesthetically matches its original look. Why does everything come back to Reach? He says with a tired, weary sigh. It's because the community seems... Okay. You guys want to hear a fucking wild take about me? I am the art style guy, right? I'm the guy... Halo 4 put the snorkel up the grunt's nose, and Halo 4 is bad because of that. I'm the guy who shrieked about art style stuff. Here, maybe a decade later,
There, in the cliff wall.
the truth about Halo's aesthetic is... Halo is a series of design verbs that link all the games together. But each game in the 2000s had a very different aesthetic and art style. Every Bungie game looked very different from each other. Even similar locations would look different depending on the artistic goals of the project. Like Mombasa in Halo 2 does not look like a Mombasa in ODST, because ODST aesthetically was a very different game from Halo 2. And I'm not talking about the graphics, okay? You gotta think about it with imagination, with filling in the gaps, filling in the detail, and see what the world is trying to tell you. Halo 1 was a game that was very informed by, like, late 90s stuff. So it was like, okay, from the Shikai Wang aspect of it, you've got late 90s animes like Ghost in the Shell, Evangelion, and stuff. Master Chief looks insane as a human being in Halo 1. He is not built like a human being. He's got these comical biceps that, if you were to take him out of his armor, he'd look nuts. He'd look like his arms are like a toy. Like, you know, they are separated from his shoulders, like, in order to fit into armor like that. You know, his ankles are very thin, like comically thin for somebody supposedly wearing tank-like armor. Like, he's built like a cartoon character, like an anime character. And same with the elites. They have these insanely wide hips, then a really thin waist, and then these giant puffed out chests and broad shoulders. Like, they're built comically. They could only ever exist as like an anime drawing or something. And then with Halo 2, you've got some more influences that are inspired by the War on Terror. You know, like, it was a couple years after 9/11, so, you know, the news was on a lot. We knew kind of what a U.S. soldier looked like at the time, and you saw the look of the Marines. They changed from that colonial Marines from the Aliens franchise look more towards something that looked like a modern-day, like, United States soldier, you know? And even Halo 2 was set in, like, a city that was under siege. So it was like, okay, got it. I know what's on their mind while they're developing this video game. And then with Halo 3, you're starting to move into the mid-2000s to late 2000s. So we're starting to get inspired by the look of film at that time. Like, we've got a warmer color palette. We're starting to shift more towards a like grounded look. So the Covenant don't have they're not like we're the Covenant. I'm the red elite. I've got better shields. I'm the blue elite. My shields are weaker. I'm the grunt minor and I'm the grunt major. My armor's orange. Well, mine is red. Like, they've all kind of got these muted, more grounded cinematic colors to them. And by the time you get to Halo Reach, they've gone full in on that cinematic look, and the Call of Duty 4-ness of everything set in, and they went like full like Spec Ops type. Look at that. Dev, there it is. There it is. I don't know what that decal is. I don't know if that's a texture. I've flown up to it. I don't know what it belongs to, but it's out there, and it's floating, and it was introduced in the first flight.
We need to find the
to
security
PC.
override to get this door open.
So there you go. The Halo 3 brutes needed more colors. See, but that wasn't the goal of that game. The colors would have gone against the aesthetic goals of Halo 3, you know? It would have kind of broke the look that they were trying to go for. It would have made it look too much like a toy, like an action figure. They wanted it to feel more cinematic, more filmic. In fact, actually, since this is the Reach grunt, and the Reach grunts look a lot like the Halo 3 grunts, this is a good... I can literally show you what I'm talking about. So, here's the original grunts from Halo CE. Look at them. They kind of look like... there's some bony stuff. Like, they're supposed to kind of give you, like, crabs, but also, like, monkeys. But you can see, like, look at, like, their eyes. They got these little beady black eyes with deep shadows around it. You could imagine if they were on the pages of a manga, this creature would come to life in a really strong way. Like, they're very ridiculous looking. The proportions, the colors, the shape of their armor and everything, very silly looking. They're silly. Around the time of Halo 3, they've got like these they're still crab-like, but they look kind of sick almost. They've got like boils, kind of like little like just growths here and there, like bumps and stuff like that. They don't look so cute. They look like something that would be a monster up on the screen in a movie. Like, think around the era of, like, Michael Bay's Transformers. Like that Western sensibilities. Like, for all the folk who don't like the Demon Souls remake, you hopefully now you understand what I'm mentioning. Because the Demon Souls remake... It took a lot of, like, those characters from the original Demon Souls, those monsters, and it was like, well, we got to make them look more cinematic. So it gave them, like, boils. It made them look more, like, disgusting and stuff, where in the original Demon Souls, they had more of, like, a beauty to them, for lack of a better term. So, yeah, by the time of Halo 3, the aesthetic of Halo was starting to shift away from this, like, that original kind of like anime, more cartoony, more colorful influences for Halo, Ghost in the Shell type stuff, and more towards a realistic, what if Halo was in the real world, grounded look. Skin textures started to look a little bit more detailed, a little bit more realistic, gritty, grounded. Colors started getting toned down. Like, less fun, a little bit more serious. Like, if Halo was ever adapted by Michael Bay, that might be what a grunt looks like, It's like some one-sided detail thing extended in its coordinates. One that was probably turned off ages ago on Xbox for performance. Lighting, bump maps, materials, shader tech. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is. So you think it might have always been there, but it was turned off on the Xbox 360, and it's there now. We can see it. It's always been there. Gotta pay to the troll toll to get into this demon soul. I explained that joke to Rebecca, because somebody we watched was making that joke. The troll toll. Halo 3 and Halo Reach's art style or art styles made a shadow over Halo that it could never get rid of. Yeah, to an extent, I think. And then there's also, like, unfortunately, like, from a community standpoint, I wish that maybe I was a little bit more like I am now about the way that I'm, like, viewing, like, design and stuff. Because what makes the 2000s for Halo really fun was seeing every single Halo game looked very different from the last, with the connective tissue being like those design verbs I was talking about. Like, even though the Halo 3 grunt kind of looks like maybe a little bit sick, you know, those are not, you know, the original grunt has like cute little beady eyes, and then the, you know, he's got to be taken to the vet. Would a grunt go to the vet? They're sentient. They're literate. I don't think a grunt would go to the vet. But, you know, they maybe not the healthiest creature. Even though, like, there is a difference in the way they're being portrayed and designed, it's still a Halo grunt. You can look at it and you know what it is. And that's what's, I think, fun about the 2000s for Halo, is that each Halo project had a very different aesthetic, but the art direction was different for each Halo project. And it was fun seeing the Halo universe interpreted through a new artistic lens. And then, you know, Halo Reach, the reason Halo Reach looked like that wasn't because Halo's about military and Halo's supposed to be really fucking gritty, man. No, like when you go off the ramp in this game, the Marines go, woohoo! And they pump their, like, no, Halo's silly. This is silly. The military aspects of Halo 1 are part of it, but it's not that serious, you know? The reason Halo Reach looked like that is because its influences were military movies, military story. It was, what if the Halo universe was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare? That's basically what Reach's art direction was. And I think they nailed it. The problem, I think, then is when you go into kind of like the Reach had the best art direction. Reach had the best art direction. When I look at, like, you know, Dev, you're in here, like, and we agree, Devin, I think, on this. I love you, buddy. I love you, man. It was fun talking to you last night. The problem I have with, like, the Anniversary Edition is there are none of those anime influences in here. None of it's in here. It's a very different art direction. It's sort of like, what if Halo Reach was Halo 1? And it's like, well, okay, so these designs, they were designed for a different game. They were designed for Halo Reach. Like these army troopers. Halo Reach was what if Call of Duty 4, you know, was Halo. This is supposed to be what Halo 1 Marines are like, you know? The Jackals over there. That's supposed to be what Halo 1 Jackals are like, you know? Those are Halo Reach Jackals. They look diseased. They look sick. Yeah, and approaching, you know, Campaign Evolved, those are my personal gripes with Campaign Evolved, and maybe what I would have done differently if I was in charge of that remake. Because that remake, it's using, like, Halo Infinite Marines. It's using Halo Infinite's Banished, which are designed more off of, like, Halo Reach's elites and, you know, grunts and everything. Like, it's not Halo 1. That's not what Halo 1 looks like. And I feel like if I were to be doing a remaster of something, I'd want to take basically this and dial everything up to 11. All of this mood here would be dialed up to 11. Like, buddy, our whole studio, we'd be having Ghost in the Shell movie watch nights. We'd be getting, like, we'd be studying, we'd be doing all of our like, all of our concept art would be done in like an anime style. We'd also have folk that are really into 80s action movies. We'd be doing rewatches of the Aliens franchise and stuff like that. As well as Predator, you know, and Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Like, that would be kind of like the boot camp to get everyone on board, and we'd have to blend the two together. That would be our goal for the remake. And there is the problem, which Devin and I actually talked about last night, which is like, you know, the tough part sometimes when you love something so deeply, you know, when you're neurodivergent. You know, Mr. on the spectrum, you know, and your love for a property is really deep, that you care about things most people don't actually care about. You know, continuity matters. Like, why immediately off of Reach, why does Chief have an assault rifle that looks like this? Why does his armor look like that? Why do the Covenant look different? Why is Captain Keyes wearing a completely different dress uniform, even though that we saw in the last cutscene of Reach, he was like. As I've gotten older now, I'm starting to shift more towards I prefer like looking at it as an artistic piece of work. And I'm more interested about trying to make sure that each game is remade in a way that respects, and not just respects, but amplifies the original art of the game. We very much agree. And for chat, I play classic graphics every time. Game Dev Devin here, he was one of the folk that got Combat Evolved Anniversary out the door, and he's telling you he prefers classic graphics. Devin is fucking cool. Yeah, Devin, we, Laper Larden and I, we do Warthog Radio. Which is like our podcast that Rebecca actually edits, she produces and everything. She like does the scheduling and kind of whips Laper Larden and I into shape for it. We should do a podcast episode together. Just the three of us, and you know, if you have a few hours to kill. Oh, let me go back and answer some of these. Oh god. I missed. Oh. I find it very funny how much CE's energy sword has a lightsaber rip-off, solid white blades, aggressively colored glow, voom, sound every time it's swung. It even switches off automatically when dropped. Oh yeah, no, it's super lightsabery, like the energy sword. Like Halo 2 is when I think... Well, see, I don't know about that, because I found something interesting. There is a toy, a Joyride toy, for an Elite, for Halo 1, and its energy sword is the spitting image of the Reach energy sword. Exactly the Reach energy sword design. So I feel like the Reach energy sword design, the look of it, is what Bungie wanted it to look like in Halo 1. And they didn't have time to get to it. Which also, you know, is like some of, I'm in this weird spot when it comes to remasters, or remakes, I guess, of things, where I sort of believe in death of the author when it comes to a remake of something. I do kind of feel that when something is released into the wild, the developer's role is done. And it doesn't matter what they wanted it to be, it now exists independently of it. And its connection to the audience is the life it will now take on. So a remake can't be like, oh, now we can go in and change everything that we didn't want to do. Like, you have to remake the thing now as it lived, you know, independently of the developer's vision. And there also needs to be a bit of balance there, because, you know, the developer's input, I do think that there are some areas where the developer, I don't know, man, you know, it depends on it's tough, man. Art is tough. Sometimes you have to contradict yourself to make good art. Mist, I'm gonna be real with you, LNG. Few other besides you will notice a minutia between the design of Infinite and most of Bungie's Covenant species. I agree with you. You don't have to be real with me, Andrew. I completely agree with you. That's why I mentioned, you know, autism and neurodivergency. Like, I'm telling you, the normies, the neurotypicals, they won't care. They're going to see a Halo grunt, and it's going to look like a Halo grunt. They won't care. And that's probably why they're doing it, because most people don't care. But, if I was in charge, if I was there, let me tell you, we would make a Halo 1 remake that would... people would be talking about it for decades, because we would go hardcore on the Halo 1 aesthetic. And we'd adapt it and translate it into 4K. Halo 1 Anniversary Jackals got hit on the head by a mallet. They did. I can almost hear the Tom scream from Tom and Jerry looking at them. Oh my god, the like that crazy one. Yeah. Echoing Devin, one really important aspect of what you're describing, LNG, is that each aesthetic is also built to sell any and every new graphical feature. Lighting, bump maps, matte, shader tech. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'd be down. Oh, hell yeah. He's down for Warthog Radio. Yes, no, I agree with you. I also feel like sometimes with like the Halo 1 remake, I don't think I would go for, you know, like such naturalistic lighting. Like, it would be a delicate balance to strike, but I think you'd have to go for something stylized. You'd have to look for something that doesn't quite look like anything like real life. I'd have to spend a lot of time workshopping it and designing art, and I'd have to work with folk to, you know, come up with an art direction that could be done in motion, that wouldn't look kind of like, you know, photorealism, realistic lighting and everything like that, that would also look graphically impressive and would, you know. What do you think is the best way to make the Forerunner architecture? Man, so here's the problem. That's just a cube. Like right there, that's just a cube. These are cubes. Like in Halo 1. I do think that there are... See, the thing about respecting the original art direction isn't like, guys, we're remaking Halo 1. We're about to make this cube a 4K cube. I'm not talking about that. It's taking the idea of this and seeing if we can add to it in a way that brings it up, you know, that elevates it, that makes it feel detailed while still having this kind of aesthetic. Because, like, you know that the reason it's a cube is because this was made for the original Xbox and Bungie was a small team. So how would you translate this design into a way where it's like, okay, that definitely gives Halo 1, but it's detailed and interesting to look at now. And like this gives more like Halo Reach Forge World type Forerunner installation stuff, you know? The evergreen struggle between continuity and game design. Yeah, and that's the thing, Devin. I think I've become like a snob, I guess, now. And now I'm like, fuck the continuity. It's the art direction. It's the game's soul that you're remaking. Like, Halo 1 wasn't just a video game that released. It was a video game that was released in 2001 inspired by shit that the devs were interested in the 90s. So we're remaking not just the original game, we're also introducing a new audience to those influences as well. So I'm almost like, fuck continuity. Fuck continuity. Burn Halo Reach. Like, look at this. Use your imagination. Use your imagination. Imagine this expanded further with just those flood lamps illuminating bits of the darkness, showing like the piping going down and stuff. Because I see that, and I see that it's supposed to imply piping and brackets and stuff like that. Braces, that's the word I'm trying to look for. Like, I can see it like a mega structure, you know, only silhouetted by the lights from those things. And it's mostly black down here. And this almost gives, like, have you ever ridden in the back of, you know, like a car when you were young, and it's at night, you know, and the only illumination is the of a street lamp every now and then. That's what these lights are giving me. Like, these lights are the only illumination down here. Like, dude, we're gonna make it fucking dark. You know, and as you approach here, like,
use the holo panel to shut down the
like the lights coming off of that hologram, like they're weird lights, you know, they're alien, they're holographic. They're not gonna illuminate the room like this, like super light up time. It's just gonna be almost like a shimmer coming off of a pool, like the reflection of light off of water, you know? That's the vibe it's gonna give in the darkness. Like, that's the kind of imagination I'm asking people to use. Shit, I should have... Hang on. It's too late. Devin, this elite here...
Good. That should open the door.
The mocap work in the anniversary cutscene, where it looks like a guy in a mascot suit, like an elite costume, runs out. Yeah. Any fun stories about that? I love how people post the modern sci-fi design meme with the cube with the line running through it, despite most CE's Forerunner textures being exactly that. Do they? I don't know that meme. What is that meme referencing? Rock and stone that glimmers rainbows like an abalone shell. Poetic, dude. I'm afraid that I don't know what abalone means, and I'm about to Google it. You've taught me a new word today. A large sea snail with rich, flavorful meat. But I also assume abalone is in artistic expression. Okay, holy shit, these snails are cool. Okay, hang on, there's a rabbit hole I'm gonna have to go down. That snail's cool. I watched Hidden Xperia's video and his hopes for a possible 4 remake, and man, it's tiresome to hear him say change the art style back to classic. Yeah, see, even like my opinions on Halo 4, like Halo 4 aesthetically is not what I like. Like, Halo 4 is an instance where the art direction changed, but also the verbs, the design verbs changed, you know? Like, grunts look different in Halo 4. Very different. Same with, like, elites, you know, and, like, some other things. But I think if there was ever a Halo 4 remake, I think it needs to look like Halo 4. It can't be Halo 4 with a bunch of, like, you know, Halo Infinite assets plastered over it.
Chief, Bravo 22 was bringing us some heavy weapons. After I saw we were up against hunters, I thought you could use them.
Look, here we can see the jackals that look like they were hit over the head with cartoon mallets. Can you briefly summarize what you mean by fuck continuity again? What I meant by that is What I meant by that is I don't give a rat's ass what the Halo universe looked like during the fall of Reach. I don't care what Chief's armor looked like. I don't care what tech the Covenant were using. If we're remaking Halo 1, we're gonna make it look like Halo 1. Halo Reach does not exist in my Halo 1 remake. It will feel like a remake of this game. With no external influences. Because when Bungie made Halo 1, there was no Halo Reach or Halo 2. There's the jackals down there. Look how short their necks are. What do you think about the Forerunner style in Reach Anniversary maps? I think the Reach Anniversary multiplayer stuff looks cool. And even like this the Anniversary like Forerunner stuff, I don't even think is like terrible, you know? Like it follows the design shapes of Combat Evolved. I think the lines and stuff are cool looking. It's not Halo 1, you know? It's why Keys looks like he's stung by bees. It's funny because the only reason he looks like a mascot is because the rigs of the Reach models didn't have enough bones in the CE engine. Is that true? Yeah, because that one Elite, when, you know, you open up the doors, the Elite, like, comes out, and it's just like he fucking looks like a dude in a mascot costume. Like the mocap work. Yeah, and Keys looking like he got stung by bees. Has any of the recent footage of Campaign Evolved changed in any way from our first looks that you appreciate? Yeah. There are a lot of changes. Like, okay, here's another thing that has shown my character growth as a fictional character. I've gone through arcs, you know, and my writing is stronger. I am a stronger character. I can now say I would have done it differently, and I think Campaign Evolved, artistically, is playing it very safe. I think they're doing a very boring and safe thing in the way that they're remaking the game. That being said, I think Campaign Evolved looks very cool. I think it looks really pretty. It looks like Halo. Like the franchise. And I am looking forward to playing it a lot. I think it's going to be fun. And some of the changes that they've made that I actually appreciate are somebody watched my feedback video and they colored the grunts' skin blue. The grunts have blue skin now. And I think that's awesome. And whoever that was that made that call to color their skin blue, I really appreciate it. Oh, and new Cortana's design, it was just an extremely bad screenshot that they chose. I don't like her design, but it's not nearly as bad as that screenshot. I still think, though, that Halo Infinite, if they're going to reuse assets, the end of Halo Infinite, like her goodbye to Master Chief, that was the best. That was a better model, and they probably should have used that. Yeah, Germa in a wig, yeah. Make her purple. That's what I'm saying. Oh, if you're still here, Devin, what were some of the, we were talking about, were you here when we were talking about the models? Like the Halo 3 models and stuff that were used. I mean, this is the Reach, you know, rocket launcher, but this is the Halo 3 Magnum that's been recolored. And, you know, the Halo 3 Magnum does look more like the Halo 1 Magnum. Or Halo 1 pistol. Sorry, it's called the pistol in Halo 1, not the Magnum. The Halo 3 Magnum looks more like the Halo 1 pistol than the Reach Magnum. And pre-release, it was the Reach Magnum. Like, this here would have been the Reach Magnum, but you guys changed it. And that's interesting. And I noticed that because it is the Halo 3 pistol, or the Halo... What? Man, fuck off. I'm just going to use either interchangeably. Because it is the Halo 3 Magnum, which had an 8-round magazine, versus the Halo 1 pistol, which had a 12-round magazine, the magazine is shorter in Halo 3, which means if you reload it, that magazine is floating a good 2-3 inches off of Chief's palm. versus the original graphics where it looks fine. I don't even think it's been recolored. That's just what the materials do in the engine. It has... Really? Because it has been recolored. Like, this is not what it looks like in Halo 3, even just, like, the color temperature of it. Like, and there are tweaks to it. Like, you can see on the slide. Or what is it called? Like, you know, the fucking thing that poops out the casing when it's done. They added the decal to it from Halo 1, which is not present on the Halo 3 version. So, like, changes were made, tweaks were made. Oh, man. Can we talk about Easter eggs? Or, you know what? Since you're here, Devin, right now, this is something that interests me a lot. In the original graphics, these collapsed rocks that kind of expose that this whole island is artificial. You know, you can see that, you know, just a few meters away from, like, the rock and dirt, it's metal. So, like, this whole thing here, it's all fake. It's all metal underneath. And here is some of the collapsed rock and stuff like that. The geometry is super blocky. It's very blocky. It's very angular. And the way that it looks like you guys approached this challenge of how would you, you know, up the detail, but keep the blockiness, is the blocky bits are chunks of Forerunner metal. I think that's fucking cool. Personally, I think that's like a really clever way to rationalize like how blocky some of the geometry is. What are there any other spots where you guys had to do clever things like that? We all shared them. It used to be my job to collate them. Look how far back Chief's hand is in the remaster. Let me see. His hand is far back. Look at this. Look at Chief's gloves. Yeah, his hand is far back. That's interesting. What's... It's also wider, too, his hand. We did and the kanji, if I remember correctly. We changed the models of campaign due to PvP. Due to PvP. Player versus player? We changed the models of the campaign due to PvP. Wait. What do you mean by that? So the model was switched over from the Reach one to this because of PvP? We had to do things like those rocks and metal fusions all over the place. It's cool. It's interesting. Is there any difference between the 360 version and the MCC version? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, a ton. There's a ton of graphical effects that were busted in the MCC version of the anniversary mode. Cortana's hologram it does not look right. So, like, something's weird with her transparencies. Like, her, you can see, like, around her eye area, especially. Like, sometimes there's sorting issues and, like, transparent shit that's behind her will render in front of her eyelashes. So if there's a window behind her, you'll see the texture of the window just in front of her eyelashes. The rest of her body will be fine. It's just the eyelashes. So it looks like there's like a weird dark circle around her eyes. And it's because it's the dark window that's behind her. And for some reason, her eyelashes are causing problems. But then, you know, there's other areas where her hologram effects are acting weird. CE a Reach shipped with Reach PvP mode in lieu of CE's multiplayer. Yeah, I remember that. So you're saying that you guys changed the model of the pistol so that folk would not hop into Reach's multiplayer and think that the balancing was exactly the same? Like, is it model separation? Just trying to make sure that they aesthetically look a little bit differently as to not confuse people? Here, let me go back. I missed one from Andrew. It's in the members Discord. As a CE Turbo purist, I would absolutely have my own CE remake using a primarily CE aesthetic. N2, M3, ODST, and Reach. We'll see. With Halo 2 and Halo 3, I'd want to go all in on those games, you know? I've seen people upset about the Flood not infecting the Marines in Campaign Evolved, but in CE, you never see live Marines after 343 Guilty Spark. What's your opinion? I agree with you there. I've seen dead bodies resurrecting. Yeah, I guess it's all down to like the needs. If it was a function that the AI could do, but you only ever saw it in like 343 Guilty Spark at the end of the level, I guess. I guess it's like, if it's there in the engine, then why not activate it? But if it's something that requires a little bit more time to do, then like... C's pistol is kind of whack. The grip's bottom portion is incorporated into the detachable magazine. You discard part of the grip every time you reload. Apparently there are some real-world pistols that work like that. Where, yeah, like the production of a magazine for that specific weapon, you are also manufacturing a little bit of the bottom grip. People clowned on me for saying that's fucking crazy. Yeah. The weapons function so differently that it was confusing for people. Okay, all right, that's interesting. The weapons functions... Okay, so the reason that the switch, that firefight part was my favorite too. We were fixing bugs originally filed in 2010 up through MCC in 2019. Really? Were there like old bugs where you were like, I remember you. You were the bug that got away the first time that you were able to squash? You let the poor Marine die so you could talk about eyelashes. I'm like in a trance now where it's like the game is almost like a secondary thing for my hands to do. The weapons function so differently that it was confusing for people hopscotching between the two. That's so interesting. I thought that the change was done because this looks more like the Halo 1 pistol than the Reach pistol. You gotta do that animation and victim morph in real time, and it's not 2007 anymore, so it's gotta look real gnarly. Well, here's the thing. They still do that. They infect dead bodies, and the model will swap. So there is still like an aspect of that. It's just they won't infect Marines, and I assume it's because maybe like those features, those AI features, need to be like rebuilt to an extent. Have you ever shot the glass and fell in Halo CE? Yes, many times, Andrew. Many times. There's 2 Andrews. I should probably mention. It's also interesting to see like the areas where the original like assets, if they are the original assets, like, they hold up so well that, like, minimal changes need to be done. Like, I'm fairly certain those are just Halo CE's bitmaps. Or not bitmaps, but, like, what are they saved as? TIFFs? Is that what the file's called? Oh, we're talking about Halo CE's Forerunner aesthetic. Here's an aspect of it that I think is it's sort of there in Halo 2, but by the time of Halo 3, it's mostly gone from the franchise. I loved these, like the like Death Star like gratings here, and you can see in the blackness little flickering. It looks like a motherboard. Like it gives the vibe. It's megastructure-esque, but it also makes you feel like you're inside of a massive PC, like a massive computer. And behind all of the metal are, like, circuits and wires and motherboards and chips and weird alien, like, advanced, but also, you know, looking like, you know, Earth circuitry. Like, yeah, I loved that stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that you'd want to amplify in my CE remake. You can kind of see with the anniversary graphics, they went for more of, like, by the time of, like, 2011, like, you know, this is kind of like what a lot of the Forerunner stuff looked like. So it's been modernized. Those are just CE's same assets? Okay. Yeah, see, I noticed even, like, 343 Guilty Spark, that level is just using some of, like, the assets are unchanged for the plants and stuff. What's going on? What are we laughing at? I love you. Hello. How are you? Hello, Switchboy. One thing I like about Halo CEA is the blood. I've also rewatched Toy Story and been replaying some of the Pixar games. Man, my love for Buzz Lightyear and Woody holds no bounds. I always treated Buzz like Master Chief. Really? Yeah, I liked Buzz Lightyear too. How would you fix the Prometheans? I talked to Jeremy Cook about this a while ago, the, you know, Halo Wars 2 art director, and he had a really interesting idea for the Prometheans. He said that he would handle them in order to make them feel distinct from the Covenant. He would handle them like they would be sort of like, they'd all be neutral. They'd be very neutral. Everyone is the exact same class. And what would happen is there would be shit in the environment, like sandbox items and, like, wall attachments and stuff like that. And they would go up to them and attach them to themselves like these Forerunner bits of machinery, and it would transform the unit into something else, and you could break off their armor and they'd revert back to their previous class, and they'd have to kind of like run off and recalibrate and become a new class. So they would be constantly changing and morphing their roles in combat. And he thought that that would be interesting. I do like this. Look at this. This is a cool bit of, like, atmospherics. Look at that. That's kind of cool looking, right? Like the light illuminating the low-level fog. And that wasn't there in the original graphics, but I actually think this looks kind of cool. What do you think of fans who say that modern Halo fans who buy modern Halo games enjoy slop and that they just consume? I think those people are stupid. I think those people are dumb, and they've made their entire personality disliking the modern state of a video game franchise. And they, in their spare time to entertain themselves, actively seek down on social media platforms people who do still enjoy the franchise and get into arguments with them, rather than like learning how to paint, learning how to fix cars, you know, doing something like fulfilling, you know, maybe like working with their like neighborhood to, you know, do something communal, like those. There is something wrong with their brain, and I hope that I hope that they find happiness someday. Apply fixes / won't fixes. I'll have to give it some thought. For years I had them all memorized. Took me a long time to let them go. The won't fixes. Which Promethean class would panic as if that is the key in the Halo combat loop? Grunts and Jackals run off after the leader is killed. I guess maybe all of them, right? You could almost picture it like a swarm that's all working together. And if it's time for the swarm to scatter, they would all scatter and then reform somewhere else. You know, and you wouldn't be trying to chase down the swarm and kill all of them. Like, they'd be moving a little bit too fast. You just wait for them to settle back down. But for the basic answer, the hundreds of lighting bugs in Halo CEA we had to mark for will fix. There's a story we'll share in the interview. I'm very interested to hear that. So what you know, for folk, you've probably seen like all the videos that talk about like the atmosphere is ruined, the atmosphere is different, like it's too bright and nice and pleasant. Like what was all of, you know, what kind of was going on with like you know, the brightening up of everything?
Spot if we don't get out of here before additional reinforcements arrive. Let's find that map.
Fixing the gamma for Halo 3 on MCC was a chip on my shoulder from 2013 to 2018. Really? That long you held on to it? What about, was any aspect of that, I remember the Xbox 360, something about it just gives games this odd, like, games on the Xbox 360 had a tint to them. Like a very subtle tint. Did that factor into any of it? There's a 90% chance Rebekuma is probably cataloging all of Devin's comments here. LOL. Putting the late night in... Oh my god, it's almost 1 in the morning. I gotta hop off. Probably after this level. What's shotgun sight colors do you prefer? I blue for me. I like a teal.
There. That holo panel should activate the map. Analyzing. Halo's control center is located there. That structure appears to be some sort of temple or shrine, if I've interpreted this correctly. Interesting. A shrine is an unlikely place to put such a significant installation.
Cortana to Captain Keyes.
Yeah, I bias towards a teal. But there is that nostalgic... I got really into like Halo Reach Infection. So there, I do have a soft spot for the red, but I think mostly teal. Oh. If assassinations came back, I would design it like Resident Evil Requiem, where you control the types of assassinations you conduct. Interesting idea. I'm so scared of what's next for the industry, especially after Halo and GTA 6. What if GTA 6 is going to set a bad precedent for the rest of the industry? I imagine Halo Studios locking, say a Pelican behind a $100 edition. I don't think that you'll see that. Like, I think what Microsoft and like all these folk are like banking on like, is basically... There's an issue of, like, folk aren't buying consoles. Folk aren't really playing games on consoles. And what I think they're hoping for is that Grand Theft Auto 6 will be a game that drives console sales and gets people to buy video game consoles again. Because there's been this issue in the games industry now, and it's not resolving. That's why everyone's looking towards GTA 6 as the savior, where younger generations of gamers, they're playing on their phone. They're fine with their phone. They have games on their phone. They don't really need an Xbox. Yeah, so if GTA 6 does not change anything, then consoles are in trouble. If anything, 360 was darker and had more oversaturation as a result of the tinting stuff. Yeah. Yeah, like, some games looked really, like, visceral on the 360. Like, they were very contrasty, and it kind of gave, I think, 360, a lot of people on a surface level, it did make the Xbox 360 look more detailed than PS3, you know, in those old comparison videos. It's something about the way that 360 rendered games, you know? Hey, Cinnabar, thank you for the $10, man. Not Halo related, but what do you think of the Metal Gear series? I think you'd like those games. I played a shit ton of Phantom Pain, like a ton. It felt like the ultimate stealth game after just like Splinter Cell kind of fell off a cliff and started becoming like an action series. Like Phantom Pain really scratched that stealth game itch that I had been missing. I never beat it though, but I played like over 100 hours of it. But that's my only experience with Metal Gear Solid. Believe it or not. For UNSC weapons, I use green scopes, sights, and displays for suppressed guns, my take on the SMG and sniper, and blue for unsuppressed guns, / everything else. It's interesting color choices. See, I'm my tendencies are a little bit anal when it comes to like the UNSC displays. I don't like it being kind of like a color show of like, you know, everyone can choose your own color. What do you want? Red displays? Green displays? Yellow display? I'm more like, if you're UNSC, it's gonna be teal. But that's just me. But I've always said we were the horse armor for remasters. Yeah. Devin describes Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary as the horse armor of remasters, and there is a lot of truth to that. I feel like Combat Evolved Anniversary was outside of like maybe Fable. What came first, Fable or this? I feel like Combat Evolved Anniversary was the first time that it was like, whoa, you know? Barring Resident Evil, I feel like folk put Resident Evil in a very different light, you know? Hot take, I want a Gears of War style. I want Gears of War style gore in future Halo games. Like super violent? Like blowing folk up? Why does Cortana sound more British in Halo CE compared to her more American tone in Halo 2 and 3? Well, that's because that was the vocal direction Jen Taylor was given. In Halo Combat Evolved originally, her character was supposed to be British. And there's still a little bit of that writing you can find in the game. Like her saying, "sawed off" in Halo CE. It's because once upon a time her character was imagined to have a British accent. Would a God of War slashing game work for a spin-off Halo game where you play as an Honor Guard elite? I think absolutely. In fact, I have... There is an Arbiter game. An Arbiter spin-off game that I have in my brain that I think would be sick as hell. That I'll have to go into detail on. Some of you know what I'm talking about. I know that That gold. Ah! Okay. Oh my god, he tanked the rocket. Okay, here we go. Wait. Like, ever since I played RE9, I have thought of a Spartan that has the personality and voice of Wolverine and uses a crowbar to fight the Flood and Banish. That would be crazy. That would be cool. We came first. Oh, man. Okay, so you guys did Combat Evolved Anniversary, and then that was like, all right, let her rip. Let the remasters commence. And I was saying earlier to folk that I feel like a lot of folks' perceptions of Combat Evolved Anniversary are influenced by the MCC version. And I think the context of its original release is kind of lost. Like, for, what was it, $40? Somebody said? Back in the day, like, for $40 you got, like, a re-release of Halo CE, a new graphics mode, a new version of the soundtrack alongside the old version of the soundtrack, skulls retroactively added to Halo 1's campaign because they weren't there originally, as well as, like, a firefight map set on the most iconic, like, defense section of Halo CE, you know, which is that cliffside, as well as, like, a multiplayer playlist for Reach where everything is tuned like CE. Like, this was a very good purchase. It was very good value for your money back in the day. The remaster looks awful. Just awful. This is Brightest Angel. He's not impressed. But when you're done, before you hop off, you got to see the 100%. Definitely new Halo rep in Rex next update in Discord. Trust Monty. LOL. Well, since the Metal Gear Solid Master Collections, you can enjoy the games. I will have to give them a try then, if you're recommending them. Back in 2020, when I played Halo 2 in Anniversary Graphics, when I played as the Arbiter, my jaw literally dropped because I went from killing elites in Reach to starting as an elite in Halo 2. That is a memory a lot of folk have that I'm sure it's cool that you got that experience. Thank you so much for hanging out and answering the questions, Devin. Yeah, Devin, really appreciate you stopping in, man. And I'm really excited to chat with you later. Oh, Brightest Angel, I think, just joined. So Brightest Angel, there is a developer, one of the men who made this remaster is in the chat right now. That's fair. I'd also find ways to add more magazines, heat, and reserve ammo counters, meters visually displayed on as many guns as possible as a challenge. Dev. Yeah, Devin fucking rocks. Devin's cool. Devin is sick. Halo NG just tuned in. Why did 343 or Saber never get the authorization to develop a Halo 3 anniversary? If Devin's still here, that would be super interesting. Before we hop off, Devin, if you have insight onto why a Halo 3 anniversary never happened. Halo 4 being in Russian, I think we were finally starting to get a little bit of market and foothold in Eastern Europe. Saber really wanted to get Russian translations in the remakes. Like does Halo CEA have a Russian language option? Couldn't care less. You guys ruined Halo. Brightest Angel, Devin loves Halo. The reason he got to work on Halo is because he really liked Halo. What would I do to play as other factions in Halo? Playable brutes, please. 343 and Saber should make a Halo Warhammer type game. That would be sick as hell. I agree. Also, the thing in Discord, it's just peak. Let me see this thing in Discord. My Shih Tzu is on the waddle. He's on the waddle. Cube. Sci-fi cube. Oh, I see. Okay, I get the meme. Okay, I'm gonna have to check this out after the stream. Playable rats. Playable Halo 3 rats. I think a Halo hero shooter could work, or a Halo Battlefront game. A Halo Battlefront game would be sick. That'd be sick, because Halo 3 is still one of the best looking games ever made. Wait, is that it? Is that Halo 3 looks pretty good? Is that the reason there wasn't one? We need stylish Shih Tzu action. Okay, he just got comfy, and I can't get him out of that spot. He's done with the waddling, and now he looks very cozy. And I don't think I can bring myself to disturb him. There just wasn't attention to detail when 343 made Halo. It cut corners. The developers just weren't nearly as good as the Bungie devs. 343 has the worst AI. Well, Brightest Angel, I think you're going to be really interested because Devin and I are going to chat for a video that I'm working on about the development of the Halo anniversary, Halo CE anniversary. And you'll be happy to know, Brightest Angel, that Devin prefers the original Halo. He thinks it's the one that looks better. And it's the one he likes the most. He worked on the anniversary version, and he only plays in classic graphics mode. Devin has a lot of interesting stories that I'm hoping to share in a video about why Combat Evolved Anniversary kind of ended up the way it did. And I think you're going to be really interested to hear why, certain aesthetic choices were made, why, maybe it's a bit rough. Yeah, I think you're going to be really interested. Yeah, there's a lot of... Making video games is very difficult, especially under, like, Microsoft. Yeah, that's the reason. It's just... Okay, so they're... Guys, you heard it here first. From the man who did Halo's Combat Evolved Anniversary and Halo 2 Anniversary. There wasn't a Halo 3 Anniversary because Halo 3 looks kind of good. Like, it looked fine. That's the straightforward answer. Nothing Halo related, but what did you think of Metal Gear series? Wait, I think I already answered that. Right? I think the Metal Gear series is cool. I don't follow it, but looking from an outsider looking in, the Metal Gear Solid series seems fucking crazy. Well, Halo Studios are doing Halo 2 and 3 now, right? They are doing Halo 2 and 3. They will be, after Halo CE, I believe the rumor is that they're going to do a 2 and a 3 remake. And I'm willing to bet money that they're going to use everything they built for the Halo 1 remake to do 2 and 3. So we'll probably still see them, like, basically using that Halo Reach engine, I'm imagining. And look, Halo 3 is getting dated now. I mean, yeah, like, Halo 3 released in 2007. It does look great. It looks amazing, but, baked shadows, lack of dynamic lighting. There are parts of it, maybe, that do not hold up in the year of our Lord 2026. Yes. That's a nice way to put it. It's looking a bit dated. Yeah, not a fan of those Halo 5 Covenant designs. Yeah, I agree with you there, Brightest Angel. Yeah, awful weapon designs. Marines look... Oh, you're talking about the Warzone Marines, aren't you? The ones that just sit there? Main chat in the Discord. That's where it's at. Always Metal Gear Solid and never Metal Gear Liquid. Well, what about Metal Gear Gas? Yes. Okay. All right. That's gonna be my Brightest Angel would hate me as a Halo 4 fan. Well, thankfully, Isaiah, you are in the Twitch chat and he is in the YouTube chat. It would be amazing if you two actually became good friends. Yeah. So Spartana, I hope that was a satisfying answer. I am going to hop off, guys, because it is 1 in the morning now. This was a lot of fun, this stream, though. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I shall see you all later. Good night and good luck. That's the Dying Light thing, isn't it? Good night.